MagaT.com for more great podcasts.
Hey, listener. This is Venice, and you're listening to Voice from the Underground, hosted by
Big Head, you know what I'm saying, and just...
If this is your first time listening, here's a little insight.
They be fighting the power, talking about social issues, politics, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, but they be keeping it fun with the sports, music, comics, and movies too.
If you like what you hear, leave us a rating and share our show with your friends.
You know what I'm saying? Me on Twitter at VFU Podcast. So you can find them. So check one, too. This is Flavor Flav for the Underground Podcast. Yeah, boy.
Welcome to the Underground.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Voice from the Underground, the podcast. That's the wrong guy. See, I forgot you're hosting the show. So look at this is amazing. We are the podcast where politics and pop culture collide. See, so for those on the audio, it's showing Mikey's face, but I'm talking. So watch this. I'm going to say something, and he's going to lip sync it. I'm Mikey Antifa. And Jason Dutch is my hero.
Oh, what the hell? Oh, why started vomiting out of me. Oh, what was happening?
Welcome into the show, ladies and germs. I am here with the aforementioned Mikey Antifa. You know him very well as the guy who played Falcon in the Avengers. What is that? Not a trilogy, a quintupology.
Mikey Antifa is a Little Richard stunt double in gay movies on Wednesdays.
That's not on Wednesdays. That's every day. Wednesday's the only day he takes off from.
Hey, Big Haas, you lucky you bigger than me.
Hey, I'll try that again. I'll try that again. You know Mikey Antifa as the guy in the Dr. Pepper commercial who goes, "The sweet one."
It's the sweet one.
Yeah. So he's here with us today.
I'm part of the 7-Up family. Used to see me back in the Make 7-Up Yours commercials. That was me.
Make 7-Up your. Oh yeah, I remember.
Make those. 7-Up Yours.
Yes. What was there for? Never had it, never will. The old 80s commercials.
Old Virgin motto.
And you're joining us from the Bat Cave of Crest Hill, the blackest of dark nights. Not looking as bright as usual. I'm guessing he hasn't put any new batteries in his light. Welcome, Big Hussein.
First of all, let me start with some hate. What's on that shirt, bro? Let me get that shirt. You always got cool shirts, and you don't ever want to carry your cool shirt hookup. He be coming in here with new shirts, new hats. He had a bucket on last time. He didn't tell me where he got the bucket. See, I was hinting.
Oh, that's discontinued, brother.
No, for 40 minutes, I was talking about your damn hat, and you still wouldn't tell me where to get the hat.
I never dropped where I got it. And that's an interesting story as well because it's some
Tell me about the shirt. Tell me about the shirt.
All right, check this out. I gotta make sure that we plug them on the show notes and stuff on Instagram and everything too, because they do have an Instagram page and all that good stuff. But this shirt put me on single. Where's my camera? Like Stephen A would say, "Where's the camera? Put the camera on me." All right. So this shirt right here, you see it right here from here up. You see
they can't see it on the audio podcast.
Fuck them. From here up, from the nipples up.
The opinions of Big Hobbs do not represent
the beginnings of a cool ass motherfucking shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me stand up for you. Check that out. If you look real close,
it's a blue logo. It looks like a guy with a boot. He's got a 1 foot forward, and he's possibly doing some sort of kick.
And he's got like a space suit on.
Oh, it's Among Us. They're playing Among Us.
Right.
Okay.
And the group is called Manic Focus. Okay. Interesting story. Somewhat almost
what kind of music is it?
They do like a jazz hip hop fusion.
Okay.
It's real cool. It's real cool. And I'm going to give you like a little bit of backstory and then tell about, and because the story of how I know about this group and then how I went to see them are two pretty good stories. So real quick, my father-in-law, one of his best friends from college, his son is the drummer in this band. Now, this drummer, his last name is Barinholtz. Where do you know that name from?
The Barinholtz clan, famous for their
Ike Barinholtz. Remember Ike Barinholtz from Mad TV and stuff?
No.
Okay, Ike Barinholtz is
yes, I do. He's a big Cubs fan, and he hates Trump.
He's also a comedian and actor. He's been in a few shows, some sketch comedy shows, some sitcoms. He's got some stand-up out there. Well, my father-in-law knows his uncle, and his uncle's son is in this band. And we went and saw them, my wife and I, and my in-laws, went and saw them at a drive-in up in McHenry this past summer. And it was like everybody had to drive up, and you could come out, but you couldn't. You had to wear a mask or whatever. But I had the cigar, so whenever the monitors would walk around and walk by, I'd pull out my cigar and say, "Hey, I'm smoking my cigar," because they wouldn't bother if you were smoking your cigar. So that is how I got this shirt, because I went over to the concessions and was like, "Hey, I need a Manic Focus shirt," and they hooked me up with this one. And this is one of the coolest shirts I have. I like it a lot. So, I don't wear it often because I don't want to wear it out. But
I got a bad habit of that.
Yeah. And then this hat, I forget where I got this hat from, but I got it online. If you look, that is the iconic logo of one Black Panther Party.
They're a terrorist organization.
Yeah, on this side of the hat, it says "Power to the People." But I got this hat,
so violent,
as part of my rep without being overt repping, because if you're not hip to game, you don't know I'm basically saying Black Lives Matter right now. You know what I mean?
Incognito.
That's another terrorist organization.
Yeah.
There's just terrorist You guys are promoting terrorism.
Terrorism against oppression and inequality.
I think we've already got the title of the podcast. We're promoting a little promotion of terrorism. So there we go.
Can I brag about my shirt?
No.
Let me see your shirt. Put your titties up there.
Do one of these for you.
Is that a picture
of a solo screen? We need a solo screen for Mikey Antifa, for Michelle and Famine.
I believe he has a photograph of is that South America? South America, yes.
Africa.
No. It once was part of Pangea, which is definitely South America.
Now, I see some verbiage on there. What does the verbiage say?
So
that it's making up the continent.
So underneath is just my man. He's a photographer. He went on safari, and he went on several different safaris, and he traveled all throughout Africa. And in each country,
did he go on a surfing safari ever?
And on each country, he took some pictures, and those pictures are represented kind of where they are on the continent.
I see.
That's cool.
Very, very dope. It's not, my camera's not going to pick it up, and I did kind of wear this one to pieces because this was my favorite shirt for like a good year. So it's kind of
see.
He slept in that bad boy.
I like this shirt a lot.
Thanks for advertising another podcast on the show too with your hat.
This one?
What's happening? Right, what's happening over there at the bin?
We just had an amazing episode with no
one cares. All right, moving on.
A vaccine expert. She is a vaccine patent lawyer, and she came in and talked to us about the COVID vaccine and how all that shit ran out and how it's going to roll out, and took questions from the audience. It was a good time. You guys can run back and see that. Actually, let me go grab that link for you. Go ahead, Dutch. Let's talk about your shirt, Dutch.
Yeah, I just decided to dress like a poker player today. So
wear the sunglasses.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the Unabomber.
You look
from,
like the fucking Zodiac killer.
I'm pushing all in.
This mug's out here. Looking like he's telling kids he got fudge out of a white panel van.
I'm about to cut my newest hip hop album.
Hey kids, have you seen my kitten?
Hey kids,
how about
you like
help
violence? You want to see me push 9-inch nails through both of my eyelids? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Want to copy me and do exactly like I did? Now, just like I did, I have a bit of an odd story. Start out the podcast. Okay. So the wife took I don't know why I'm wearing the hood today, but go fuck yourself. The wife took my 14-year-old to a doctor's appointment for her physical. And she was because we're trying to get her in sports, assuming that they ever have them, because she's 14, so she's gotten into some mischief. And we're like, hey, if you want this new iPhone that we just bought her, then you got to do something, right? You got to play soccer or volleyball or whatever. I don't care if it's chess team, so we took her. You have to have a physical, obviously. So we took her for the physical, and I guess my wife is sitting there next to her while they're talking to the doctor, and the doctor was asking her some screening questions. Mm-hmm. One of the screening questions, I shit you not, was, do you know if your parents practice safe sex?
What the fuck? That's what they all Hell no. How you think I got here, Doc?
I'm like, hold on a minute. Imagine if a kid actually knew the answer to that question.
Right. Imagine if you will.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Mom and dad, he always slips a sock on the pickle.
Right.
Every time.
When I'm that piece off at the end for the big finish.
I always see him during the live stream that I have going on TikTok. Absolutely.
OnlyFans, man.
Oh my God in heaven. What type of question is, here's the thing. Sometimes, every once in a while, I get a reminder of the types of things that actually, that the Republican conservatives will point the finger at and just laugh at.
How do we
that's one of them.
Say that. How are we just going to say that's a liberal thing?
No, I didn't say it was a liberal thing, but I said that this is something that they would point the finger at and laugh at it and say, look how absurd our society has become. So I don't know. I would say, actually, I wouldn't characterize that as conservative. So by default, it would have to be liberal. A conservative doctor would say, well, you're not engaging. You're practicing abstinence, aren't you?
Right. You're putting that better. By the way,
let me grab the mic.
Whoa, got a strong grip there, Dave.
You best be practicing motherfucking abstinence. You best be fucking practicing. I'll beat your
right hand is looking mighty
ass.
Strong, Dutch. It's looking mighty strong.
Right. No, I will knock the fucking taste out of your mouth. You're not practicing. Okay, but
Dutch hit him with the you ever had sex with a man before?
Do you want to?
Have you ever? No, I've never been in a Turkish prison. Airplane.
Gotta go to Turkey for that.
Yeah, great. I know. Movie. So all right, here's how I want to start out the show.
Okay.
What I'd like us to do is I want because obviously one of the big things right now this week has been the Million MAGA march. MAGA march.
That was a big story. Really?
The Million MAGA march, and then all of the conversation going around that, as well as COVID, flipping through going into the stratosphere. So I have a clip here. The clip is 8 minutes and 13 seconds long. I'm not going to play it in its entirety, but I am going to play the entire.
Logging off from our shit was.
No. It's what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, but I'm going to stop it probably every 30 seconds because the first
get some reactions.
Yeah, the first 4 minutes of it or so is from Bill O'Reilly, and he gave a good update.
O'Reilly,
crazy asshole guy.
Parts.
Harassment parts. Who got fired from Fox News. So I don't even know how he popped on. I've never heard him on the radio before. He just popped up on there today.
Pause.
Yeah, he just popped in. I saw he was having sex with his wife with protection. So
yeah.
Was he? Or no, I'm sorry. It was with.
He was watching from the corner, and the pool guy was doing it.
He was cucking. He was the pool guy was fucking and Bill O'Reilly was cucking.
Oh,
so
do you have a cage?
No, I don't think there was. Just chains, whips, and pretzel dip.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm not here to judge.
This will go through. Mostly, it's going to start with a little bit of COVID, and then it's going to migrate into the elections, and he's going to talk about what's the lawsuit is. It's in every now. Two of them have since this morning when I heard this have
got dropped,
changed, but one there was rulings on a couple of them.
You got 2020 in one clip.
But here you go. So here and then and after that I have a clip from Joe Biden that I'm going to rip on as well. So but they're all in one clip. It's not two different clips. It's all one clip of 8 minutes. So I will pause this momentarily, and here we go.
Ohio Governor DeWine issuing a curfew for all residents. Folks in the Buckeye State must stay home between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. for the next 21 days. Exceptions include emergency workers and those who need medical care. Critics say the curfew will do nothing to slow down the contagion, but who knows? New York City closing.
Okay, so I don't know what happened to my, but that was the first one of the, somehow my tablet just crashed there. So let me go back and pull it back up. But I'll let you respond to that real quick first. Mikey, would a curfew, and again, this has nothing to do with social distancing or masks, is a curfew something that you guys think would be effective for containing COVID?
No. Because they'll just crunch it in during the times, or they just won't, because just like we had all the shutdown from the first time and no one listened. They just did it anyway. They gave everyone at my job papers so that no one should have been out of their house unless they were an essential worker. So I had paperwork from work to say, yes, I'm here for work. I'm driving to work, blah. I never got pulled over once. I saw mad teenagers tooling around, just hanging out because school was canceled. Well, nobody listened to that. So if you put a curfew on it, they ain't gonna listen to that either. They're not in the habit of listening to instructions.
Dude, this is like Pirates of the Caribbean, what they said about the code. You know, you can have a code, but it's more of a guideline, right? And if you choose not to adhere to it, then you end up where we are. We are where we are because when we gave out these guidelines and everybody's so fucking scared to say, no, you must stay home. We will have police enforcing this. They're so scared to make it a mandatory thing that because we don't want to infringe on people's freedoms, when your fucking freedom can kill me, that's where the shit stops, man. Anyway, this curfew won't do that. Hold on, Dutch, I'm still talking.
Oh, I thought you were about to be done.
No, motherfucker.
You paused. You gave a
hard
pause.
When I'm fucking done.
You gave a hard pause. Now pause, Granddad.
That's what the white man do. Yeah. Hey, I claim therefore I am now.
We are responsible for Western civilization.
I am now claiming that Hassan is done. Like I claim Michigan. But anyway, like I was saying, from 10 to 5, who the fuck is out? It's just, ain't nothing open from 10 to 5, but 7-Elevens and legs. So, I mean, come on, quit playing. You're going to have a curfew. You need to have a curfew for real. And you need to have some sort of limitation during the day. But here's the thing. Everybody's too afraid to make it a mandate. It's a suggestion. Yep. And if it's a suggestion, all those people who are, quote unquote, talking about their freedom, and that's fucking selfish, my freedom. But this is the United States. And we're supposed to be here for one another, but you are so selfish that your freedoms, even though you can fucking asymptomatically kill somebody, but you don't care about that because you want to go have a beer at Mickey's Outhouse. Fuck out of here.
He looks very scary right now.
Meet me at Shooters.
Continuing on.
And wait, hold on. Here's my thing too. Here's my thing. Businesses that are allowed to stay open due to certain restrictions, they're not in that total shutdown. They're at capacity restrictions, and they are adhering to the capacity restrictions and adhering to the mask mandates and saying you got to wear a mask when you come in here, or if it's more than 10 of you, if it's at 10 people, we are shutting it down. I have respect for those businesses. I understand you have to make money and you're doing what you can and you're trying to stay within the guidelines. I'm talking about those people and those businesses that are not, they're walking around Walmart with no mask on, with their "Don't Tread on Me" shirt, and they're saying, fuck our governor. We're going to keep our business open with no capacity restrictions, no mask mandate, and have everybody packed in our bar or in our restaurant. Those are the people that are assholes.
And the thing is, they're fighting against the governor, but they're really just working for the virus. The virus doesn't care what your political affiliation is.
Right.
All it needs is I just need you to cough on somebody. You could, black, white, Republican, Democrat, don't matter to me. Just cough, damn it. You're going to cough eventually. Just cough on somebody, and I love you.
And stop fucking trying to frame people who are trying to adhere to wearing a mask and things like that as being fearful. That's another thing that has really fucking grinds my gears. Oh, if you're scared, stay at home. It's not about that. It's not about fear. It's about respect for other people.
Personal
responsibility. It's not about fucking fear. You motherfuckers are the biggest people to talk about personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. It's your personal responsibility not to potentially spread a fucking deadly disease to other people. That's the most personal of responsibilities right there.
It's your body. Take care of it.
Now, the other, there's a little bit longer to this clip, which will actually touch on some of what you guys just said. There's some irony.
I'm on one today.
There's some, I see that. There's some irony to this, but the one thing I will touch on is your point about the businesses. What I think has been missing here, and I know that some landlords have done this voluntarily and good on them, and I think there might be a couple of pieces of stimulus that have gone towards property owners and property managers, but for the most part, it hasn't. But if you put all of the onus on, say, the restaurateur or restaurateur, however you say it, or the guy who's leasing the property space to pay for a barber shop and that sort of thing, and you put all of the problems on, all of the financial restrictions on him, and he gets the stimulus, but it really he's not making back what he would have made before. So his employees suffer, that sort of thing. What I think would make sense. Now, you can't do that when you're in, like, what we call it in Bakersfield. I think they call it the purple. But that's they have a hierarchy of different colors that
y'all got cooties.
Yes, we got cooties at purple, but and that's not the highest. I think orange.
That you have the cooties in purple, and it's one of the bigger Trump areas.
Well, again, you're getting ahead of
the virus doesn't discriminate.
You're actually predicting some things in a minute. You're going to hear where I'm going. So, or you're going to hear some things that justify what you just said. But I think that we need to give some sort of stimulus to the landlords.
100%. Because
if we give stimulus to the landlords in lieu of them receiving full rent from these businesses, then those businesses don't have and not just the landlords, but anybody who would be considered overhead for the barbershop or the restaurant or whatever the case may be.
I have a caveat to that because I'm learning more and more about investing. And
just so you know, we're 16 seconds into the 8-minute and 13-minute clip. Just want to let you know. But go ahead.
There are large holding companies that are these corporations are the landlords. Now, them motherfuckers, we're talking about private landlords, but these large corporations have what is called insurance. On these rent.
You're talking about private equity?
Yeah, like real estate investment.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. And those guys, and a lot of those places will just buy and sell businesses and properties.
Right. I did not know that the Lifetime Fitness rents or leases the building from a holding corporation that you can actually invest in. I'm today years old knowing that shit. I thought Lifetime ponied up the money for all of that stuff.
Well, that's why they are so worried about their profits. So, all right, let's push forward here real quick. More Bill O'Reilly on COVID.
Critics say the curfew will do nothing to slow down the contagion, but who knows? New York City closing all public schools again for in-person instruction starting today.
Pause
Mayor
that.
de Blasio announcing his decision on Twitter, saying drastic measures must be taken to fight the second wave. City school district is the largest in the country with more than 1 million kids.
They didn't close the private schools.
Well, you can't because they're private.
You can't close. You can't He
So
can't
guess
mandate
what?
that.
It's all them little rich kids that's gonna be sick taking that shit home to their mommy and daddy.
Well, but on the other hand, it's all the rich kids that are going to continue to get prepared for their adult life.
If they make it.
But even still,
let's be honest, kids are not going to have as many health issues as adults are. But
You might think that, but some of the emergent research doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It says
the emergent
that
I've looked at. You have to show me what emergent research is showing. It's disproportionately affecting kids because
it's not.
I didn't say it was disproportionate. I'm saying that they're having some more severe effects than first thought.
And even still, on a humanist tip, like there's still teachers, there's still janitors, there's still adults that are in the school with those kids.
And so those are the ones that those are the ones I'm concerned with. But they're also their opportunity. They've already received access to opportunity. I'm worried about equal access to opportunity for all kids who are, our kids.
Access to opportunity to get infected.
Again, you're missing what I'm saying. The virus don't care how much money you have.
Right.
These people, even if they are better suited to live out their lives, that's fine. That's not what I'm saying. The virus is still going to infect them, and they're still going to have to go to the gas station and to the grocery store and to other places and home and then other places, and then they're going to spread it. When you have large gatherings of people, you give the virus a place to spread.
But the virus doesn't care about money, but money certainly cares about the virus, because you know as well as I do that someone who has access to better quality medical care is going to have a higher chance of defeating the virus if they get it than someone who does not have any access to it.
But does money stop you from spreading the virus?
Right.
No, but you're spreading it to people who would in theory have less opportunity than you do.
In theory,
you're at the apex, it can only go down.
You're getting mired into the private school being more. I never said anything about their money. You keep bringing up their money. I am saying any group of people that is a large group of people is going to be a super spreader event. We don't need super spreader events. So cool, you close the public schools for the public's general health, but close the other schools too, because it's still, again, the virus does not care. It sees a big group.
I don't know
of
that he
people.
has the power to, though. Does the government have the power to shut down private?
Nope.
I don't think he can.
Nope, he can't.
He can't shut down private businesses. All he can do is mandate that they have certain amounts of people in there, or he can impose. He can't tell. Like, see, here's the thing: you can tell a gym to close. Like, there's a gym here in Bakersfield that refuses to close. The guy's like a super right wing extremist. He even calls himself an extremist. But he refuses to close. My barber goes to the girl who cuts my hair. She actually goes to his gym, and she's like, yeah, he won't shut down. But they don't. There's nothing that they can do. There's no enforcement, so there's no law.
That's the problem, because I think everyone kind of, like House was saying, gets into this like individual rights, and I have a business. Bro, there is a virus out there. We have to shut down the virus. I know you're hurting. I know your pockets are this and that. Federal government, step in, do what you need to do. But trying to say that I am justified because I have rent is not a good case to me. And just saying, oh, well, that's a private school. How could I close the private school? Then you got to find a way, because you can't have hundreds of people inside of a building with this, you know what I'm saying, with air conditioning or heat.
They don't care,
it's
man.
just going to go right through the vent. Like, come on now.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. It's not, but see, I happen to see the effects of it as being economic as well as
economic anxiety that's forcing these. They don't want to say that, though. They don't want to say that.
No, we're going to get to Joe Biden on that too in a minute. So this is actually, I told you this would be a good way to guide the conversation, but I do got to at least press start on this every 5 minutes or so before it crashes on me again. So here's the next segment.
North Dakota
Okay, now this is justification for what you were talking about. Now listen.
Oh yeah, I know about North Dakota. Go ahead.
Reporting the world's highest COVID mortality rate, 17 deaths per million. South Dakota takes third place, right behind North Dakota. Both states have a total population of less than 2 million combined, but more than 150,000 cases. Health officials there say hospitals are at 100% capacity right now. Survey from Monmouth showing 34% of Americans.
Okay, that we'll get back to that one in a second. But that you talked about the more Trumpish areas like Bakersfield, where we're having a huge spike right now.
Right.
Now my son is both my kids are still going to school in person because we haven't hit. We're in the purple. Once you get out of the purple, then but we're way high. The only place higher in California than Bakersfield is LA and San Francisco. But of course they're higher because it's massive. There's a massive difference in population. We have 800,000 people. You're talking about 4 million, 4 million, I think, in San Francisco, and 11 million, something like that in Los Angeles. So it's not even close. As Mikey goes to trim the cat, this is a survey from Monmouth here, that is going to say something that it really wasn't even part of what I wanted to talk about, but it's in the middle of the two things. So we'll comment on it real quick.
Okay.
We're simply happy Donald Trump lost the election compared to just 25% who are happy that Biden won. I told you it was all about Trump. More than a third of voters report general unhappiness with the entire process. 1 in 10 say the 2020 race made them extremely angry, and those are all Trump supporters.
Oh, of course. Fuck ass.
So, and for Mikey, who just walked away, I'll just quickly paraphrase this for the listener as
Thank
well. You. What Bill O'Reilly had said there was that there was a survey from Monmouth that said 75% of people who are happy about the election going to Biden, they're actually happy that it's not Trump who won, but only 25% are happy that it's actually Joe Biden as president. So it wasn't about Biden; it was about Trump.
Right.
If I had my soundboard up I'll have it up in a bit, but I can't have two things up at once. Of course, it's about raise your hand on this podcast if you were a Joe Biden fan. Now, I don't think anyone hates him, but this wasn't about Joe Biden. We would have voted for Pete Buttigieg. We would have voted for Bernie Sanders. We would have voted for Kamala Harris.
Danger Mouse.
Yeah, we would have even voted for. I would have ran to the polls for Tulsi Gabbard.
Dude, what y'all know about Danger Mouse? I would have voted for the brain.
from Pinky and the Brain.
I would have voted for Pinky. I was shit.
Pinky and the brain.
If it was Pinky running, I would have been like, check.
All right, Pinky, let's see what you got.
What should we do, Brain? Because Brain would definitely be the vice president.
Okay, so now we're going to move into the election part. This is the part where I'm going to stop it right after he talks about each individual lawsuit. There is obviously one lawsuit per swing state, with the exception of one. Anyone want to guess which swing state there's no lawsuit in?
Michigan. No. Didn't he drop it? He dropped it. He dropped
North Carolina because he ended up ahead.
Oh, because he won. He won North Carolina.
There's nothing in North Carolina, and
it's only fraud where I lost.
Exactly. So I want you to listen.
Stupid ass.
Listen very carefully. And now, by the way, this wasn't on this, but one of Trump's lawyers went on TV yesterday and said that she believes that Trump actually received over 80 million votes, but that she believes that 6 to 8 million of those votes were changed from Trump to Joe Biden.
It's the gray space coaster. Get on board.
All
right. So here we
again. And while we're
promoting terrorism here.
Can someone look up the picture of Rudy Giuliani doing his best Carlos Boozer impression?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a good impression to do. Why would you want to do a Carlos Boozer impression?
He had the Boozer with the Beijing Boozer.
The Beijing Boozer, baby.
Did he also sign a big contract that he never played up to?
No.
Yeah, that was like Carlos Boozer. Like I knew. Remember that free agent class? I knew that they were going to get Carlos Boozer that time because I was like, Boozer's not worth the money.
That's a Chicago check right there.
Yep, LeBron and Wade and Bosch, they were worth the money.
Yeah,
and Boozer was somehow included in that conversation back then. What year was that?
2004 or 5.
Was that that long? Was that
or maybe was it 2000?
No, you said Wade. You said Wade, so it was probably like 8 or 9.
2007 or 8, yeah, something like that.
It was right before LeBron made the decision to go to Miami. All right,
Oops.
so here we go. Oh, there he is.
Oops, I must have clicked the wrong button.
Dude. This look at this mug. Got damn Beijing coming down his face.
We're looking at pictures
You're
of
Rudy Giuliani. How the fuck don't you have a good Beijing dude?
Oh, hold on.
He was sweating like his soul knew that he was lying his ass off.
He was sweating
like you condemning me to hell, dude.
He's sweating like he was at the end of Borat.
He was my favorite part about this picture is not the obvious Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorc blood coming down the side of his head. Was the fact that when they did the Beijing with his glasses on. They didn't even take his glasses off.
They didn't take his glass off. He had a nice little he got the
on both sides.
He's got the vampire from the Munsters.
It's almost a Reed Richards.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So all right. So here we go. We're going to talk about Bill O'Reilly's going to talk about election here. Again, I'll stop it right after every state's conversation.
The election contest is still underway. President Trump's lawyers telling the country that they are still litigating the vote, but there is not much chance it will be overturned. However, I want to run down the current lawsuits that are unresolved. First, Arizona. The Republican Party there trying to block the certification of election results in the state's most populous county, Maricopa, that's Phoenix, until the court rules on the party's lawsuit asking for a complete new hand recount in Arizona.
Let me make sure that was over.
The judge has not issued a decision. Hearings are ongoing. In Georgia.
Okay, so that was Arizona. Georgia will be next. So your thoughts, Big Hussein, on what you just heard there about Arizona?
He lost.
Now he wants to only have one-word answers. I mean, on the topic where no,
man, come on.
So this is the funny thing. He wants to do a hand. All right, put this in the back of your mind of what Bill O'Reilly just said. Trump's lawyers, just keep this seed in the back of your mind as I play the next couple. He wants a hand recount. Okay. Now,
you know why?
Now, next is Georgia. So let's listen to Georgia first.
The count is over. The hand recount is over. We should know shortly the results. The rumor is Biden will still win the state.
Of course.
Attorneys have sued to block the certification of that, however. GOP lawyers allege Georgia illegally changed the process for handling absentee ballots. We'll see.
Okay. So now that one did come out. They did certify for Biden. And what did the Trump team do? They said that the recount, the hand recount, which in a lot of places, by the way, came up 100% accuracy to what the original count was. They said that was fraudulent. So why is it, I ask you, I beg of you to tell me why. Why is it that they are asking for a recount in Arizona by hand when they just did one in Georgia by hand, and it still wasn't good enough for them?
That's not the point. The point is to buy time to continue to sow doubt and to continue to put pressure on these Republican legislatures to send GOP electors to the Electoral College. That's what this is about. That's what they want to do.
Oh my goodness. I pushed the wrong button again. I apologize.
What the hell am I looking at?
Where's Ruby Red?
From Fifth Element when he had the blood coming down after he got off the phone with Mr. Shadow.
I love that movie. I
haven't seen that movie in ages.
It's a great movie.
That was Chris Rock's first movie, or no, Chris Tucker's first movie.
Wow.
Right?
Yes. No, it's not his first movie.
Chris Tucker? What would you do before that?
It's not Chris Tucker's first movie. He did Money Talks.
That was after.
I think he did Friday before that.
He did Friday.
I don't think so.
I'm on.
I don't think that was his first movie.
I think that he did. I think he did the Fifth Element before those other two, because he was popular in Friday. He wasn't popular yet in Fifth Element.
Was he?
I don't think so.
I don't think he was popular in Friday. I think he was. That's what.
He was really popular in Friday because of that Def Comedy Jam. Remember that Def Comedy Jam he did with Hamburger Jones and Bernie Mac and
Hamburger.
He did. Yeah. He did Friday in '95 and Fifth Element in '97. Money Talks in '97.
He did Money Talks in '97 before Fifth Element came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
tell black people about no motherfucking movies, man.
Here, how about this? Go fuck yourself. Next.
Rush Hour is
schedule.
So then you know the release date of every.
And he was in House Party. He was in House Party 3 in 1994.
And so remember,
every actually 100% correct.
Every movie is a black movie because Samuel L. Jackson is in every movie.
That's fucking right.
He was in Meteor Man too.
I don't even remember that at all.
And
I remember Meteor Man, but
he was in Panther too.
Oh, Panther! That movie had a really good soundtrack.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
I don't remember much about that movie when I saw it, but I remember playing that soundtrack was just was off the hook. I love that.
And in 1997, Chris Tucker did Money Talks, Fifth Element, and Jackie Brown.
Busy man.
He made a little bit of change. Oh, and I forgot he was in Dead Presidents.
Yeah.
I don't remember him being in Dead Presidents. Who did he play in that?
I think he was one of the soldiers.
Who he played for?
I don't remember him at all being in Dead Presidents.
No, he was in Dead Presidents.
But Dead Presidents though,
Skip.
He was Skip.
I might be mixing up my movie. That's the one with Jada Pinkett, right? And
that's Set It Off.
Set It Off.
Oh, that's Set It Off, dude. That's
okay.
Not even close.
Yeah, yes, it is. They both came out right around the same. They both had black people in them. They came out in the 90s. Okay.
You heard it here first.
Let's talk terms of endearment. Go fuck yourself.
They started in Vietnam and then they robbed the bank.
I don't remember actors' names, names, movies, shit. I don't know shit. All right, so go fuck yourself.
The hearing in the Peach State today, but again, with the hand recount, Georgia will probably remain
so he was
in Biden territory.
So moving on.
In Michigan, chaos. President Trump's campaign trying to block the certification of election results in Wayne County. That's Detroit. Quote, Wayne County allowed fraud and incompetence to corrupt the conduct of the election. Mr. Trump's legal team alleges observers were prevented from being able to properly watch the vote counting. That case is pending. In Nevada.
He dropped that.
I haven't seen an update on the one in Michigan, though I did see that and I talked about this yesterday on a quick podcast I did, or a quick video I did, that the state board of electors, the commissioner, or the county board of electors, I should say, the county commissioner's office that appoints that certifies the elections, I should say, they originally blocked the certification of the election, and then a few hours later, after some public outcry, they did unanimously certify it, but it was blocked by two Republicans who just decided that they were going to block it for no apparent reason and kick it up to the state level board, the state commissioner's office, for one reason only. Like Haas just said, they want to implement faithless electors. Look, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Their only hope is one of two things: Supreme Court, which ain't going to happen, and Bill O'Reilly will talk about that in a second, or more likely, getting 37 people across the country out of the 535 electoral votes, getting 237 people, getting 37 people across the country to flip their vote.
Yeah, regardless of what the state said.
It doesn't matter. They could be 16 from California, 3 from Michigan, 4 from Wisconsin, 1 from Illinois, 2 from New York. It doesn't matter where they're from. It doesn't matter what your name is.
And that is why the Electoral College sucks rhinoceros balls.
Yeah, the electors part makes the Electoral College even worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you were to say that if you were to do it in a way, if we're going to keep the Electoral College, the way to keep it is to do every state like Nevada or Maine does it. You know, that's the only way it could be even somewhat fair.
Where they split the vote?
Where they split the vote. Exactly. You know, California would probably give, what do we got? 55 electoral votes. So Biden would probably get like 40, Trump would get 15. Mm-hmm. You know, but then they would have both split Georgia. They would have, and then you wouldn't see all this fucking ridiculousness. You know, because because right now, let's say that you do flip. Let's say that Trump did flip Arizona, right? That's 11 electoral votes. Like, let's just say that he flipped it. He wouldn't be, it was basically a 50-50. So even if you gave the two differential to Biden, he's not going to be fighting his ass off for 11, and then Biden would lose all 11. Biden would only lose maybe 6, and Trump would get 5. So, or it would be a 6-5 split or something of that nature. So to me, it's just, that's the only way that you can keep it. You know, Illinois has 20. So, you know, the winner gets 12, loser gets 8, because, you know, they take the 2 for the Senate and you put them on the side of the winner of the popular vote in that state. I could see that working.
Do the percentage.
You could. The way that I've seen it, the way that I've seen it proposed would be that it's, because obviously you get 1 electoral vote for every congressperson in the state, and you get 2 for each senator. So the Senate ones, you know, like they do in Maine and in Nebraska, the electoral districts, because Nebraska has 5, so there's 3 electoral districts in Nebraska, and there's 2 Senate seats. So the winner of the Nebraska popular vote got, you know, of each district got each district, and then the 2 Senate votes go to whoever wins the popular vote in that state. I wouldn't cry about that, because at least would be some semblance of fairness, and it wouldn't be all or nothing. So you wouldn't see legal fights in a state over, you know, 500 votes and trying to get a 500 vote flip, because it's probably not going to make that much of a difference. I don't know what that calculation would show if we put it into the electoral map, but I would imagine it's going to reflect better.
I think what they do in Nebraska is they split it by district,
by congressional district.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you win the district, then you get that one it's Nebraska.
That's the way 4. They do it in Nebraska and in Maine.
Yeah, they only have 4. So it's like if you get this northern section, then you got that one. And you get the southern section, you got that one. So it's split up in a way. So I don't know why we can't go by districts, because I think that would. I mean, you know what? No, I don't.
That would also cause more gerrymandering too.
Yeah, I was say they're just going to redraw all the lines so that they never lose. So.
But you also don't. Again, why can't we just take a piece of graph paper and put it over the country, and then pull them out so that the population, like, you can put together a demographic population map of the United States. And actually, you'd have to do it by state. You could take a graph of each state, demographic, you know, put in the population in that particular state, in that little, in whatever shape that state is, put a piece of graph paper over it, calculate how many people live in each square, make the ones with over 188,000 smaller and the ones with under 188,000 larger, until you have a proportionate, pretty much square, or at least rectangle. Now we have congressional districts that look like Picasso paintings. You know, it makes the girl behind Mikey, her hair comes down in like those 2 strands behind her, right? Mm-hmm. You literally have congressional districts that do that where there's another congressional district that comes up in the middle. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. You know,
I need them votes right here, not over there though.
Yeah, because there's black neighborhood there, black neighborhood there. So let's leave that, and we'll give them these 2, and then we'll take the white people in the middle. So, all right, let's continue on here. The next state, I believe, was Arizona.
Mr. Trump's campaign is asking a judge to nullify the state's election results or set them aside and declare the president the winner, arguing that illegal or improper votes were cast and the use of optical scanning to process signatures on mail-in ballots violates state law. That case is pending.
Okay, that case is still pending. However, there is word. Actually, no, I take that. That one was thrown out by the judge this morning in Arizona, and they have not. He has said that the case was dismissed. However, he has not written. He has not written anything out yet as far as like his judgment on that particular case. So there's going to be something, a written judgment coming in the next day or two. But what you heard there was not. You weren't making it up. They want to overturn the entire state's election and not say, hey, look, we think there was something wrong here. There were some irregularities.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, those irregularities, which you'd have to say that there was some percentage of Trump votes that would even be in there. If let's say that their case is completely true, there would have to be irregularities on votes for both candidates.
Sides, right.
You have to have it that way because the mail-in ballots didn't come in 100% for Biden.
Nope.
In Arizona, they came in. Remember, in Arizona, they came in way less than in the other states. Trump was actually closing the gap there.
Yes, he was.
He
couldn't make up the distance.
Yeah, it was an anomaly compared to the other states. So, like in Pennsylvania and Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia, et cetera, Biden was catching up and then pulling away. Mm-hmm. In Arizona, it was getting close. Nevada kind of too. Nevada was
the count.
Keep on counting in Arizona. Keep on counting. So they want to keep counting. But he doesn't want to recount there. He wants you to just turn the election over and declare him the winner.
I won.
It's a different.
I won.
They can't even have the same. They can't even come up with a fluid argument that goes across state by state. Now, part of this is because states all have their own different rules, which is probably a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, but all right. I think this is the last one.
In Pennsylvania, this is the most crucial case. The Trump campaign aims to stop the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania from certifying the election results.
Of course.
Alleging Philadelphia and 6 other counties
black folks
wrongly allowed voters to correct problems with mail-in ballots. And also, there is a general challenge to votes counted after Election Day because Pennsylvania law has a deadline. Now, as I said, this is the big one that might go to the Supreme Court. But everyone in America should understand that because the election certification is completed by December 11th, it will be very difficult for all of these court challenges to be settled by then. Only the Supreme Court can stop the process. And that would be a shock.
And they won't.
As the judiciary branch in America does not want to decide elections.
Right.
Now, it did in the year 2000, Gore versus Bush.
Well,
nevertheless,
500
what's happening now, right now, it's possible that Donald Trump and Joe Biden will have an impasse. It's possible, but not probable. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and I
Oh, wait. And then he says this.
approve the message by writing it. Disagree. I want to hear from you.
Okay. Well, you're hearing from us right now.
Trump about to go off on him.
Now, how dare you say
how
that there's
dare
no
you
chance?
say that I didn't win in a landslide?
The Trump will actually be writing him as well. But remember what he said there with Pennsylvania. Okay. They don't want to certify the election because there's a general they're generally contesting ballots that were not received after Election Day. Listen to the verbiage.
Yeah.
Counted after Election Day. Now, remember, Pennsylvania, again, was very unique.
Yes.
They did not count any votes that were mailed in before election day. They counted all of them
after. Well, during
on the next day. They started counting them next day, with an exception of about 16%, which I believe were absentee that of some sort. I think military absentee and stuff like that.
Right.
But 86% of them did not get counted until the next day.
Because they were counting
they said that. Right. They said that beforehand. They said, we're not even going to. And by the way, guess where else they did that? Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Alaska still hasn't finished receiving all of their mail-in votes. Alaska gave a deadline until the 12th. But I don't see anybody complaining about Alaska. Now, you might say, well, Dutch, Trump won by 60% there. Doesn't matter. Why is it okay in one place but not okay in the other?
Right.
He wants to do one of two things in Pennsylvania. He wants to either say, hey, you should anything counted after election day, throw it out. And then, of course, if that doesn't work, which it probably won't, because the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania already ruled before the election when the GOP was trying to stop that to begin with. I mean, they were trying to stop this particular one before the election even started. They knew
that it would be probable that the mail-in ballots would be heavier towards Biden. So that's why they were trying to get that done before.
So make no mistake. This isn't about fraudulent votes. This is about they don't want legal votes to count. Now think about this too. If you're a voter and your state tells you that you can mail your ballot on election day as long as it's postmarked by election day, that your ballot will count. And then in a retroactive fashion later, they come back and they say, oh, by the way, those votes won't count now.
Mm-hmm.
You have had your right as a citizen
taken away
from you.
Now, here's my thing too. What about the Trump voters who voted by, I know it's a smaller segment, but shouldn't they feel a certain way about having their vote invalidated?
No, of course they don't.
Or is it okay because then their guy might win?
I was going to vote for him anyway, is what they'll say.
Yeah, look, this is the reason why I didn't vote by mail, because I didn't even want my ballot to get contested by the GOP. And I knew they were going to do this. And I'm pretty confident that we're going to be fine. But still, I didn't vote by mail on purpose because, and my wife said she voted by mail, Republican. She votes by mail every year. And I'm like, well, she's like, why are you voting in person? I'm like, well, first of all, I kind of enjoy going to the polling place. But number two, I don't trust these motherfuckers.
I like that part of the process.
Yeah.
Being an in-person part of the process. I voted early, so that I could go and avoid the long lines and everything.
All the long lines were on the early voting. I went on the day at 10.
I walked right in.
I walked right in, walked right to the. I was there 8 minutes total.
I was there about 20 minutes.
And the only reason I was there 8 minutes was because one of the printers broke, and then the tech happened to be walking in right behind me.
Oh yeah, but he was a socialist.
One of them elderly poll workers was trying to holler.
No. Let's tell the truth now. Okay. That wasn't an IT guy. He was from Dominion, and he was there to switch votes.
Yes.
I didn't know he voted.
He had a tech guy shirt on. The shirt said tech guy.
It said Geek Squad right here. It said Geek Squad right there. But he was a leftist.
Tech by Dominion.
Recruited by Soros and flipped Republican
His name was George Soros III. I don't know how you guys knew that.
I don't know. Yeah.
How did you guys know that it was his name? That's weird.
No, his name was Soros George.
They'll never get it. They'll never catch on. The dumbest.
Yeah, he just went in and changed. Mikey went in there and voted for Omar Gaddafi or whoever it was he voted for. And
look at you, sloppy with your jokes.
He wrote in Naruto.
There's that great line in The Other Guys. I don't know if you guys watch The Other Guys. Other Guys, classically underrated comedy film.
I need to watch it. I never watched it all the way through. I always end up getting
it's so underrated. There's this part. Will Ferrell is a police officer. He drives a Prius,
Yeah,
and his Prius
I've
gets
seen parts of it, but I always end up, it's the Netflix and chill thing. So only make it about 19 minutes.
It's so
it's this thing on.
It's so good. That and
you
Get
give
Him
it a
to the
look like
Greek.
this.
The other guys in Get Him to the Greek are my two.
Oh, I love Get
comedy.
It to the Greek though. That movie was great.
Jeffrey, he stroked it very well. But in the other guys, he's driving a Prius, and his Prius gets stolen, and they recover it.
And isn't his gun
they radio him? Yeah, he's got a wooden gun. It's like a prop gun.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes. They go, hey, we found your Prius. He goes, thank God. And then he's like, because over the radio, he's like, yeah, we caught it trying to vote for Ralph Nader.
I like the fact they had condoms and shit in the back seat.
Oh yeah, there was a they left a pack of condoms back there, and a deer vagina was what they had in the back. He's like, well, there's a bunch of old homeless dudes had a sex orgasm in your car.
Orgy in your
and then he says, you know what they call that? They call it a soup kitchen. And everybody and this soup kitchen, by the way, is again promoting terrorism. So we continue to promote terrorism and soup kitchens on Voice from the Underground. All right, so
soup for you.
So, and again, as I was going to say with Pennsylvania, if this doesn't work, which it won't probably, and they're trying to take away legal votes, then they're going to try to cast enough doubt on the process where they get to implement faithless electors. So it's all going to come down to faithless electors. We should be fine. Now, Pennsylvania does not allow you to switch your vote, but there's a caveat. There are penalties for doing so. I don't know that it makes it where the vote, if you cast it, is invalidated.
The California smile. If the penalty's short of that in jail, then these guys might be like, whatever.
There are people who will go to jail to keep Donald Trump in office.
Right. And he'll probably say, I'll pardon you. Don't worry.
Well, he can't. It's a state crime.
I'll figure it out. Just like I'm figuring out how to steal this election while I'm figuring out how to steal this election while telling everybody that Biden's doing the stealing. Isn't it great?
Just like them dudes was over there.
You ever been mind fuck before?
It's like them dudes was trying to get that bus ride back over from that rally.
Right.
He gonna leave you high and dry.
And dry.
And there was a lot of free Kyle Rittenhouse signs at that rally. It was just a great.
God.
It's like the new free Tupac. Free Tupac is all that's on a ninja's mind, so but at the same time, they're trying to take Kyle's.
You know what's funny is this: whenever a unarmed black person is shot by the police, you always see the memes from the righties. My baby ain't done nothing to nobody. But now with Kyle, guess what? They say the same shit.
It's
he's a patriot and a hero.
Time will look back favorably upon his actions.
No one wanted to do what that young man had the bravery to do that day.
Right.
And he, by the way, was not promoting terrorism.
No way.
He was promoting patriotism
and freedom.
Because,
as Chris Rock said, it's all right if it's all white.
I mean,
good old Kyle.
I just know that if anyone ever throws like a jewel bag at me, I know that I can open fire.
I know I can open fire into the back of their head.
Yeah, because that's how that works.
From 40 feet away.
Yeah. Fucking coward.
While you're hiding behind a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, I've seen the video. Okay.
Coward.
So again, faithless electors, real quick on the MAGAt march. I said this yesterday, and I'm just going to say, well, actually, let me close this off on the election, and then I'll say this.
Thank God.
Again, we are right now, and I said this yesterday, we are right now seeing the greatest fraud ever propagated on the American people of trying to steal an election. Donald Trump is precisely right. We are seeing the greatest fraud in the history of the United States elections. We just have an issue where the Trump supporters are saying that it's the Democrats. But let's be honest. if that turns out to be not the case, which we all surmise it won't be, it is therefore then defaults to Trump is trying to commit the greatest fraud ever pulled over on the American people. 72 million.
I can see him at home, right, and just jerking off. Oh God, if I pull this off, I'm the greatest one ever.
Where's he been, by the way?
I'm the greatest grifter ever if I get this pulled off.
Yeah, where has he been? Been awfully quiet, hasn't he?
Yeah, he hasn't.
He's scared.
Why? Look, let me say something. Let me say this. You want to know how Donald Trump does it? You want me to prove to you right now that Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck about the Republican Party? Why isn't he in Georgia?
Yeah, jumping for the senators.
The two senators, not one but two. Why isn't he in Georgia? Why isn't he in Georgia campaigning?
They don't have good golf courses there.
Here's the thing.
You see that he stopped by the Million MAGAt march on his way to golf.
Yeah, on his way to golf, he just
waved.
He looked like he was getting written like on his death travel though. But here's the thing too: if there was actual, credible, tangible evidence of fraud, he himself would be trumpeting it from every outlet possible. He would not leave that to Giuliani. He would not leave that to his legal team. If he had irrefutable evidence of widespread voter fraud, he would be the one saying, look, here it is. Look at this. This is what happened. Da 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 da. I told you that they would do it. I alone can fix America, and they're trying to keep me from doing it. But his ass is silent as a church mouse, pissing on cotton during a funeral. Okay? That's how you know, because that's the biggest fucking loudmouth, bloviating blowhard there is. Pause.
I think he's starting to get that tightening sensation around his wrists because his day is coming. Southern District of New York is waiting.
Dude, if that actually happens, I'm going to fucking laugh.
Hey, guess what? Biden, because Biden's talking about not having him investigated and stuff like that. Biden can do that, but guess what? The Southern District is still gonna get in that ass.
Yeah, and
it's still getting. They're gonna get that motherfucker the pine cone. If you ever either watched about jail or been to jail, you know what the pine cone is.
No, I don't know about the pine cone, thankfully, but you know,
it's getting
Trump might find out.
Let's just say I know some people that have been in jail.
They're gonna have to get the kids cuffs for him with them tiny hands. They might slip right off.
They might slip off, and he'll slither out. He'll turn himself into a gelatin.
My hands are very bigly. He wants the fuzzy cuffs from
Spencer's.
From Spencer's Gifts.
From Lover's Lane.
Lover's Lane. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Spencer's
work. The Adam and Eve adult entertainment cuffs.
Yeah, these are very tight on my hand.
Dutch, you got another
get the
story?
velour marital aids, please.
You got another story?
Yeah, I want to get your guys' feedback on just real quick one statement because yesterday Mikey heard it, and I'm sure that you guys want to elaborate on it. Basically, I'm going to paraphrase what I said here yesterday. Look, I understand that I don't agree with anything these Trump supporters are talking about, but I do respect the fact that you feel disenfranchised, right? I believe that a lot of these people actually believe that they feel marginalized and disenfranchised, and then they talk about how they're so peaceful. Well, first of all, it hasn't been completely peaceful because there have been fights, but the point being this: you've been disenfranchised.
Yeah.
For now, 12 days.
Any loss of power, any perceived loss of power, it gives a sense of disenfranchisement to the unoppressed. That's the thing. That's what we're not. And that's what we're not seeing here. That's what a lot of people aren't seeing here. People who have not been oppressed, who have been in a position of privilege for so long, any perceived movement of the needle towards equality and things of that nature to more of an equal playing field, that is oppression, because you've got to understand for generations and generations and generations and generations, they have been first considered, first thought of, first prioritized, first afforded the benefit of the doubt, first afforded the assumption of innocence, first afforded the perception of altruism and good. So any perceived, you get spoiled. You get spoiled. If you grew up in a $1 million mansion your whole life, and something happens and dad loses his job and he has to get a job paying less, so now you move it to a $750,000 house instead of the $5 million mansion you were in, you're gonna be like, you ready to kill yourself? You ready to slit your wrists? You see what I'm saying?
It got me
Right,
living
and
in
it took
squalor.
These peasants.
Yeah,
There's only four doors. There's only 4 doors.
You fucking peasant. How am I gonna park the Hummer in here?
God damn it! This driveway isn't cobblestone.
Where's the Lamborghini gonna fit? It's too wide for this skinny ass garage.
Look, and yeah, I can't pop the doors open. We got to go put regular doors in a Lamborghini. This
sucks. Now I got to get a Hurricane.
Where am I gonna do? Where am I gonna put the chandelier? We can't put a
You
chandelier.
mean
in
this toilet doesn't wipe my ass for me?
Right.
Oh my gosh! But where I was going with this, and I know that you guys will appreciate this, is that again they've been disenfranchised. Sure, I get it. You feel marginalized, disenfranchised. That's fine. For 12 days now, you felt this way, and you already had a protest.
Right. Oh man, remember
black people? How long did it take? Out? But what I'm saying is this: how long did it take for black people after the 13, 14, and 15 amendments to actually start protesting? The 40s?
Yeah, the 40s was like the little.
There was some in the early 1900s,
little sprinklings. But then in the 40s and 50s, a little bit more.
And then in the 60s,
mid-50s and 60s, right. That's when it really started hitting hard.
So let's look at it this way. After 20 years from the 40s, when it first really started, right, post-World War II, especially about the way a lot of the soldiers were treated when they came home.
Yeah.
And then...
treated, killed, lynched.
Yeah, for wearing their uniform in public.
Yeah.
But don't wear your 20-year progression, a 20-year progression to let's, like the Watts riots and stuff like that. You've been protesting for 12 days.
Yeah. What's the holdup?
Yeah. So I don't expect you, if you follow the psychology, to be burning shit yet, but I guarantee you it ain't going to take you 20 fucking years.
Nope.
So you've already felt the need in 12 days of being marginalized to protest.
And you're not even being marginalized. You just feel.
But how does that make you feel? What I want to know is this: how for you guys, how does it make you feel to see people who feel marginalized and oppressed and disenfranchised to protest after 12 days and then say, but look, it's been 12 whole days and we still haven't burnt down a Starbucks?
Dave Chappelle said that best. And I'm going to use this word. And I don't use it lightly, but Dave Chappelle said it best. If after a few days you feel like you need to march and protest over a conceived perception of oppression, come on and get these nigga lessons.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? This is just something that you kind of you're pulling from your fearless leader or your fearful leader or whatever. That you're oh my God. You know what I mean? We had decades and decades and decades of our bodies hanging from trees, our bodies being burned alive. Okay? Before we even started protesting. Generations and generations of disenfranchisement. Before anybody even said, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. Generations. Before somebody was like, you know what? This is some bullshit. We got to stop this. I'm tired of seeing my brothers and sisters hanging from trees with their bellies split open and their guts hanging out, burning alive. And you perceive it, just a little perception of being disenfranchised. Just a perception, not even reality. Just a perception of it. And you guys, you're marching on buildings because you don't want to wear your mask, and now you're marching because you feel like the wrong guy won the election. The wrong guy won the election. Come on.
Mikey, your thoughts, and then take us into the humidor, if you would.
Yeah. It's one thing to be angry at the government because, like Haas said, there's a perceived oppression that you're feeling. It's different when there's government-sponsored murder of your people.
State-sanctioned.
It's legal. These people were lynched, and the cops were standing right there.
Cops helped.
Cops had to put the hood on and pull the body down. I mean, it's so tone deaf that it just kind of reinforces my mantra for 2021, which I haven't announced yet. But my mantra for 2021 is
get solo screen. Solo screen. Screen.
Give me the camera.
Give him the camera. Give him the camera.
This is why I don't fuck with everybody.
Wait, do that again.
I didn't realize that. I thought that was just
it's short.
statement.
It's short. It's just short and sweet because I got a phrase for each year.
Say it again.
This is why I don't fuck with everybody.
What?
This is why I don't fuck with everybody.
Say it again.
Because if you feel that not being able to get your hair cut every 2 weeks, or your nails did, or to go shoot pool and have a couple of beers with the guys from work, if you think that's oppression, that's why I don't fuck with everybody. If you're not going to be a student of history, if you can't understand how stupid you sound saying that, then there's no hope for you. And good luck. I don't fuck with you.
And just a thought popped into my head. Generation from now, they're going to teach their kids about how they were oppressed at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Get over it, dude.
You weren't being hung. You weren't being not hired. You weren't being arrested for loitering and given a 5-year sentence. You weren't being stripped away from your kids. You were told that you couldn't get your hair cut.
Yet you had to wear a mask if you did.
At least you could still get your hair cut. You just had to have your wife do it or go to your barber's house.
No, you had to
come through the Stevenson salon. I cut hair.
Yeah.
I can't whip people no more. Not with everybody. And I'm 2021, I'm going to be very selective with who I fuck with.
Yeah.
Because this is why I don't fuck with everybody.
Hey.
Do I get to be on the list of people you don't fuck with?
We'll see.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to put that Eddie P on their ass. Sometimes we got to let them go.
All right. Mr. Hussein, I think it's time.
Cue the music.
Welcome to the Humidor with Big Haas. Find out what Haas is puffin' and drinking today. If you try his suggestion and you die, that is natural selection, and the VFU podcast is not responsible for you being weak effing sauce. Now, the one, the only, Big Haas.
I'm not on drugs.
There he is. Looking all stoic and shit.
What's up, everybody? It's the humidor. This motherfucker. So, I took a chance today. Because what is life if you don't take risks, if you don't take chances, if you don't get outside your bubble? Now, anybody who's listened to the humidor knows that I practice mildism. I practice mildism. I don't necessarily fuck with mild cigars, right? You know what I'm saying?
He's a mildist.
And on top of that, anybody who's listened to the podcast knows that I am not a big fan of the cigar I'm smoking right now.
Oh,
the brand, the line, the brand. I usually don't fuck with them. There's only one blend that they have put out for me, myself, that I like. And I'm gonna let me preface all of this by saying these are my views, these are my thoughts, these are my feelings on these cigars and these libations that I'm imbibing right now. Okay, so
good libations.
I am smoking a Connecticut cigar, which is traditionally on the milder side, and this is one of them. Okay. In addition to that, this is a Camacho cigar. I don't normally fuck with Camachos unless it's the double Ligero or the triple Ligero.
Sir, sorry.
Macho.
I had COVID for 2 weeks. This is student number one. I had to quarantine. What, pray tell, is a Camacho cigar?
It's a cigar that loses most of its boxing
A Camacho is the name of the brand or the line. So it's Camacho Cigars. So Camacho is the name of the brand. Like Ford or Chevy. Yes. And you know something? Under the GM umbrella, because Camacho is like
Buick,
GMC, and then there's another Chevy, and there used to be Pontiac and stuff, you know what I'm saying, Buick. So there's a bigger umbrella of cigar makers that make the Camacho line or the Camacho brand. Okay, I don't normally like Camacho cigars, which is odd because Camacho cigars are normally known for their strength. Okay. And I like strong cigars. But I don't necessarily like Camacho cigars for whatever reason. And I definitely don't like milder cigars. But I'm smoking on the Camacho Connecticut Robusto today. I took a chance. Take a chance
on me.
Teacher,
yes.
what kind of cigar? Like, there's a word you say. It's the shape of the cigar.
The Vitola.
Yeah. What Vitola is that?
This is the Robusto.
I think I used to date a girl and the name was Vitola.
Oh, if you dated a girl named Vitola, you missed out.
I gave her the Robusto.
Was she shapely?
No, I don't date shape. Shapely as in, okay, are we using the Match.com?
You know what I mean.
Are we using the Match.com definition of
Did you call her
curvy?
Coca-Cola? Did you call her Coca-Cola? Because she had a body like one of them Coke bottles.
It wasn't exactly Vitola. It was like Vitalia or something.
Or was she like a 7-Up bottle?
Little slimmer.
Definitely not like a Coke can. That's for sure. But
I said a Coke bottle.
Yeah. Coke bottle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Miss Buttersworth.
Anyway, guys, we're tangentially bound. I'm smoking a Camacho Connecticut Robusto. Robusto means it's a little shorter, and I'm starting to like.
Dutch said he was going to give her the Robusto, and it's a short one. That's fine.
Pause. But I'm starting to like the Robusto
womp womp
Vitola because it's a shorter smoke, and I'm a little bit busier than I was this summer, oddly enough. So I don't have a lot of time to smoke the larger cigars, pause, that I've been smoking. But the Robusto is a great way, you pop it out with your coffee.
Easy, Giuliani.
I'm not leaning back.
I was reaching in my wallet for
my for my
belt.
I had a microphone on my penis that I was giving back.
Right. It was starting to shock me. But the Robusto Vitola is a 5-inch by 50 ring gauge. So this is about a 50. Okay. Ring gauge is the circumference. And then it was 5 but I smoked it down, so we're at about 3.5 right now. Pause. And I just dropped ash all over my fucking bar, but that's okay. So, the wrapper is an Ecuadorian Connecticut. Okay, but the leaves were cultivated in Honduras.
Honduras.
All right, and the filler.
Lots of socialists there.
The filler leaves.
My girl is Honda Rican.
That sounds like a beautiful freaking combination, by the way. Anyway, the long fillers within the cigar are Dominican and also Honduran. Okay, so there's no Nicaragua, right?
Nicaragua free.
Yes, Nicaragua free. But this is not a bad cigar. This is something, and I guess my palate is kind of coming back around, and I think that maybe as my palate develops, I am able to catch the nuances in the mild cigars that are not as they're not as pronounced as they are in the medium to full cigars. The medium and full cigars is like right in your face, and I think that matches my personality because I'm not too subtle or laid back very much. I'm more in your face. You're kind of
gonna bust a rhymes. Flip mode.
I'm gonna be in your face. I'm gonna tell you what I feel. I wear my heart on my sleeve. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. If I love you to a fault. That's who I am. So that's the kind of cigars I like. They're gonna tell me, hey, here's some pepper, here's some cocoa, here's some nuts. Pause.
You're gonna love my nuts.
Right? So maybe my palate is developing and I'm able to kind of sit back and get my Sean Connery on. Shout out to Sean.
Big rip.
And
rest in peace to Sean.
Kind of lay back and be like,
oh, so he died like a week ago, right?
I said shout out to Sean.
Okay.
Come on, man, keep up.
Another 2020 casualty, just letting you know.
Right, 2020 is a bitch.
So you went from the rah bust rhymes to the gonna make your body scream my name.
No, I went back to
cool.
I went back to some almost Maxwell level smoothness. Sean Connery was a smooth motherfucker.
Shit, not Maxwell.
Like Money Penny.
He go the next Humidor. He gonna have his shirt off. He's gonna be doing the D'Angelo video,
right? How does it smoke? But so with the cigar, I'm kind of getting a little bit of it's a little creamy. Pause. It's a little nutty. Pause.
Double pause.
Creamy nuts.
It's got a little bit of citrus to it, and the drink I'm pairing it with kind of pulls that out a little bit, and I don't know why. I don't know why yet. I have to research the drink, the alcoholic portion of this drink, to understand the citrus. Understand why it's bringing out the citrus, because I also today have a cup of water.
Ew.
I've been kind of smoking and drinking the water as well to kind of get the difference between the water and when I smoke and when I have my drink and when I smoke. There's also a hint of really sweet espresso coffee to it. So, and I'm actually getting it. I read the review and I'm like, oh, we'll see what the fuck happens, right? Because I don't necessarily get all of the nuances that the review says that are in there. So, but when I drink the water, it's still good. I get the pause creaminess, nuttiness, and a tad bit of the citrus. But then when I take my drink,
what you got there?
And then I take a puff, I definitely feel that citrus, and I get a little bit more of the pause creaminess and a coffee. Now, what I am drinking is a mixed drink tonight. As far as alcohol is concerned, it is the Espadin Mezcal El Silencio.
Oh shit, he over there with that mezcal.
I told you earlier in the show. I'm off that mezcal, so I'm on one today. I'm on my third double shot.
I can't fuck with the mezcal.
And I'm mixing it with Bundaberg ginger beer.
Oh, you fancied in a mug.
That is okay. That is the best ginger beer that there is that I have had. Bundaberg is sensational ginger beer.
It's better than Gosling. Sorry, Gosling.
I am finding out something about myself in my older years that I didn't realize. That when it comes to things I'm passionate about or have burgeoning passions for, I got fucking expensive taste, dude. Like this bottle of mezcal, that is not inexpensive. You know what I mean?
I'll be right over.
And the Bundaberg, you get the 4-pack. It's more than I would normally speak. Normally, I'm a Sprecher ginger beer guy.
Oh, gross.
Sprecker's a good ginger beer, but this Bundaberg is off the hook. I like it a lot.
Sprecher has an astonishingly good root beer.
You know what? I had so many root beers with Happy Meals as a child. When I go to my grandma's house,
it ruined it for you.
Can't fuck with root beer or chocolate milk anymore. You know, remember the reduced lunch or free lunch chocolate milk? I drank so many cartons of chocolate milk. My kids had some chocolate milk, and they were like, "You want some?" That I was like,
Gag reflex.
When I drink the drink,
and
I take a puff,
a puff of the smoke.
The sweet espresso comes out a little bit more. The citrus for some reason comes out more. I don't know if that's because of the mezcal or the ginger beer. I'm thinking it has something to do with the mezcal. And then also I almost get a hint of a caramel or something like that. Something, and that might just be the part of the nuance of the espresso, where I'm getting that almost chocolatey kind of nuance from it. But it's a really good cigar, not a bad price point. You can get one for under $10. You could probably get a box of 20 or so for under $125. So not bad. You know, if you can get 20 for under $125, you're doing well. I would give it 4.3 leaves out of 5.
So it's favorable.
It's not super high. It's definitely one of the highest that I've ever given a mild cigar. Would I buy a box of them? Probably not. Would I buy a 5-pack if it was a really good deal on them to have in the morning with my coffee? Because I'm interested now, because I smoked this, because it's the only one I have. I'm interested now to see how it pairs with my morning coffee, especially because I do get a little bit of that espresso nuance from it. So I am interested to see if it really comes out when paired with coffee, because I like a little cream in my coffee. Pause.
Black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
I got off the sugar because I used to have coffee with my sugar and cream. Now I have coffee and about that much cream. Pause. But I would spring for a 5-pack just to kind of pair with my coffee in the morning and have this be my lighter cigar in the morning, because I've been smoking, like the last couple of days, I've been smoking a Flathead 660 in the morning with my coffee, just because I got a few of them. So a milder cigar in the morning with my coffee would be cool.
All righty.
There we go.
Well, there we go. Big Hussein with another successful Humadizzle. By the way, we have a new patron. So thank you to our new patron who just goes by the name Art. Who signed up at the $2 level. So thank you to Art for supporting the show. So thank you to Art. We appreciate it. Again, you get to pick any topic that you want on the show. If you want to just send us an email at vfupodcast@gmail.com.
Are y'all seeing these comments?
Don't read that out loud. That is a trick.
Oh, this is so we're getting our first Twitch comments on here. So those of you who are
Twitch.
How do you give out a Twitch address? Is it?
I can tell you. Our address is twitch.tv/VFU podcast.
Okay, so you can follow us on Twitch and of course YouTube.
I got a story.
If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter or Periscope, please do us a favor. Follow us on Twitch again at
twitch.tv/VFU podcast.
Or on YouTube at youtube.com/voice from the underground podcast, all spelled out.
That's
so
long shit,
it's long,
man.
But that's the way YouTube fucking does it. So
pause.
Thanks to Rick, right hand man for joining the show on Twitch, as well as Zakreep. Not a lot of listeners out there interacting with us today, but we're glad to have a couple.
They're gonna trick you into saying stuff, Dutch. You better be careful. They're gonna get you. They're gonna
clip
you.
Why don't you tell the story, dude?
I
know these.
I gotta. No. I got a separate story. It starts with a question though.
Side story.
Big Haas and Jason Dutch, you guys feeling lucky?
No,
I was lucky earlier.
Not in the slightest. Last night, Louisiana dad, welcome.
You guys should feel lucky because I don't know if you guys are superstitious. You superstitious, Haas? Huh?
Sometimes I'm less superstitious.
Did you listen to him? Did you listen to him talking to Deb Shepard?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you pay attention when he was talking to the world-renowned psychic Deb Shepard here on Voice?
She had me blubbering like a damn baby.
Oh my! Well, both times.
I had to step away, Mikey. I had to step away for a while and collect myself. I had to.
So Dutch, Friday the 13th. Does that do anything for you? Does that?
No, I'm not superstitious at all.
Well, you should be because the world almost ended and you didn't know anything about it.
What was the asteroid? Yeah, I saw the asteroid.
We just got a buzz cut by an asteroid. Record close shave asteroid 2020.
Yeah, but it was like 14 million miles, wasn't it?
Can I do the thing? Okay. No. Asteroid 2020 VT4 just skimmed by Earth. Now you're saying these hundreds and thousands.
So you saying that this asteroid buzzed the tower, a la Top Gun,
on Friday the 13th.
So we almost had a deep impact. Pause.
That's going to be the second one I got. It says, "Wow, a low-flying space rock set a record last Friday, probably the 13th, when 2020 VT4 passed just under 400 kilometers, 250 miles over the South Pacific. That is very close in astronomical terms.
That's close as shit.
There's satellites.
I didn't hear that it was. How big was it?
Okay. The asteroid was spotted by this is a great acronym, Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, ATLAS, survey at the Mauna Loa Observatory.
They really wanted it to be Atlas. It's like SHIELD.
They started with Atlas and worked their way back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So why do you guys call yourself the strategic homeland? Well, they just really wanted it to be SHIELD. Okay.
They really needed that shield. They unfortunately, well, I guess it doesn't matter. We would have died anyway. They detected it 15 hours after the approach. This is not uncommon for fast movers, especially when the asteroid was coming in our sunward blind spot. And I talked about this on the bin. Everyone says, oh, just put a satellite out in space and make it watch the Earth and make it watch around Earth so that if something comes towards us, we'll know that it's coming.
How big was it again?
It was 16 to 32 feet across.
Whoa. Okay, so that was that was smaller than the one that exploded over Russia a couple years ago.
The Chelyabinsk one. Yeah. So
that was 42 meters across, I believe.
And actually blowing up in the air can do more damage. But that's
yeah. If that happened over New York, it would be
it'd level the city.
Yeah. That's for sure.
So they always say, why don't you just put some satellites out there so you can just keep an eye on everything that's coming near the planet, so then we'll know. Well, there's this thing called the sun, which has 1 million times the mass of the Earth, and it's very bright. And I don't care what kind of satellite you got. Things coming from interior Earth's orbit towards us, you're not going to be able to see. You just can't. The sun is so overwhelmingly.
It just comes out of nowhere.
Then what they told me earlier is like, well, why don't we get sunglasses? Just so put some filters on the lenses.
Put some
like,
sunglasses on those lenses.
That is a great idea, and that's how we get such awesome.
No. Trump doesn't. I don't need him. I'll just look right at it. He just
looks right at it, big idiot.
I'll look right at it and squint. I'm such a great example. I'm so tough. I beat COVID and I beat the sun.
So even if we had a 99.99999 whatever filter to block out that much of the sun's light, you have to remember that this thing is only 16 to 32 feet across. If you're filtering out that much of the sun's light, you're also going to filter out that fucking asteroid. So it's kind of one of those things where you hope it doesn't come from the interior part of the solar system, or else
you go. So Chaz says people who are good at math knew it wouldn't hit us though. Louisiana Dad has a comment we should probably look at. Can you guys please shed some light on the fact that the amount of people with schizophrenia is rapidly increasing? I do know one thing. They have discovered a new type of schizophrenia this year, earlier in the year before the world went crazy. I'm sure that we've developed a few more. That's something I don't mind talking about, but hey, if you want to come on Louisiana Dad and talk about it, then let's rock and roll.
So I got a small clip. I got a small clip here, which is someone's visualization of it. I'm going to get rid of the audio as soon as it kicks off here because I didn't pause that. So
pause.
Here we go. Oh, good. It's already muted. So I can skip it up past the words. So there we go.
Yeah, they really wanted you to read that.
Hey, can you blow that up though? I guess that's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, that's a nice. It's going to slingshot, and now it's going to kill everyone on Venus.
That's right.
Good thing they're already dead.
We don't know that.
Yeah, we do.
There could be there's some weird type of life there.
Hey, you know something? I had a discussion with one of my athletes about aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "You believe in aliens?" And I really had to talk to her about how minute we are in this thing called space. I'm like, here we are as Earth, right? And we're a part of this solar system, which is a part of this galaxy, right? But there's multiple galaxies and there's multiple universes. So think about that. And that's the most arrogant thing you can think, is to think that we're the only intelligent life forms amongst all these galaxies and all these multiple universes, because I believe that there's multiple universes. So even if it was just one universe, you know what I mean? It's got multiple galaxies, multiple solar systems, and things of that nature. We are one planet.
Just to put things into even a bigger scape. So our planet, or our sun, has 9 planets, we'll say. Sorry, yes. Pluto. Well, I'm going to count you anyway.
Yes, I count Pluto because it was a planet when I was coming up.
Yeah. Well, it might be 9 again, because there is a theoretical planet X that they're saying they have gravitational evidence for.
DMX got a planet.
In reality, this is not the one that was like the
Narubu or whatever.
Yeah, it was like this proposed,
Nairobi is a country in Africa.
They're saying that there's probably a planet twice the size of Earth that is beyond the atmosphere. Now, I haven't seen anything on this in about the last. This was in 2019 but they had it there. Well, no, they had it on the History Channel show The Universe with Neil deGrasse Tyson. So the
History Channel is far
ain't nothing but man.
Well, but Neil deGrasse Tyson's not. And did you ever watch the Cosmos or the Universe or any of those shows?
I like Cosmos. Yeah,
they've talked about that planet on both of those shows as something that they say, hey, we've actually found the Asian guy. What's that Asian scientist name?
His name is Michio Kaku.
Yeah, that's the guy. You got it exactly.
I am a space nerd.
Yeah, so I don't know that you can say that that's a complete fabrication. I think that they have some gravitational evidence of it in the outer part of the.
You're talking about the Oort cloud.
The Oort cloud, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a light year out.
But it still is technically the solar system.
No.
Sure it is, because when Voyager left it, then that Voyager is beyond that now. So it's beyond the sun's impact.
So if it's on the outside of the Oort cloud, then that means it's not affected by the sun's gravitational force, which means it's not part of our solar system.
It depends on if it's in or right next to or just beyond or whatever. If it's in the Oort cloud, it's literally in
Oort clouds now.
The solar system.
So did you guys see here? I'm gonna see if you guys can guess this. What does Contact, Species, and Goldeneye all have in common?
Contact, Species.
I have not seen
Goldeneye.
Frequencies. Contact.
Frequencies.
I have no idea.
This old boy, the Arecibo radio telescope. They're shutting it down. They're gonna bulldoze it. Yeah, it is 57 years old.
Why don't they make it a skate park?
Yo, they got to get rid of it. That'd be the sickest bowl ever, brother.
Wouldn't it though? Would you like to drop in that thing, dude?
Yeah, they built it inside of a natural crater, so it made a perfect radio telescope, but it's very rickety and falling down, and like wires were snapping while people were trying to take care of it. So
hey, you know what? We don't need any of that anymore. We're gonna have Space Force. So Space Force is going to
from Battlefield, but yeah,
Space Force will take care of us.
Yeah, way to go, Space Force! Thanks for protecting us from that rock, dumbasses. They didn't even know.
That was God's way of saying the election is over. All right,
I think that was the aliens with the backup plan. Like, yo, did y'all get this shit figured out? All right, cool. Pull up.
The next one coming is bigger. That was a warning shot. They fired the 22. The next one coming is bigger. All right, so we gotta rip on Joe Biden here for a second before we close out. So I'm going to continue on with this clip. We're now done with Bill O'Reilly, thankfully. And
that was Space Tales with Mikey.
Actually, I like that. We should do that more often. Let's do it. Let's do a Space Tales with Mikey once a month. I like that. That's great because I'm a astronomy nerd.
You gotta come up with some music for that. Some ethereal music.
Yeah, we could do it. I'm all in for astronomy. We could talk about that all the fucking time.
We gotta go through.
It'd be nice to talk about things other than Trump.
We got to go through our Enya archives to come up with some music or Deep Forest. Got to get some Deep Forest.
If we can do maybe a pre-recorded something, I am friends with an astronomer, and he is a very, very interesting person. You guys would be in
the most interesting man in the world.
And that is what we call him.
Yeah, we could do that.
Stay astrological, my friends.
Keep looking up.
We can definitely. I'm totally in for that shit. I love space and looking at the physics of outer space and stuff like that. I don't believe in multiple universes, but well, because look, honestly, if you have multiple, there's this theory. I forget if it's part of string theory or something else, but where they say there's because of it's kind of two, because they say if space is so infinite, then there is a you that is done basically that every possible thing that you can imagine. I don't buy into that, because if there's multiple universes, then there would be a me that also figured out how to come to another universe and therefore destroy it. And since we are not here.
Oh, so you're talking, that's the anthropic principle.
Right. So I don't remember what it was called.
And that's also factors into Drake's equation.
The Drake equation was about life on other planets, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah.
Right.
So
and just statistically, it's bound to have, like, our galaxy probably has about 200 other civilizations on it using the Drake formula.
Well, yeah, but this is this particular theory I'm talking about says that there are so many that space is so infinite and the amount of universes is so infinite that there would be a you who's president. There's a you who died already. There's a you who dies tomorrow. There's a you who died today. There's a you who
there is a me who's president. We did a movie about
that, and the other.
But statistically, there is no difference between any of those and the you that I'm talking to right now.
That's because those other U's don't exist. See, I don't buy into that because one of those U's would have figured out how to come here.
Because you're just basing that on the present you that's kind of twisted.
But if there's so many universes, then somebody would have figured it out so far.
How do you know that though?
Because that's what the principle states.
It wouldn't figure out that they can jump through universes.
In one of those universes, they would have discovered a way to jump through universes. If there's
an infinite
amount of universes,
maybe they're more benevolent.
It's infinity times infinity times infinity. So
right, but that doesn't mean that we can just throw away all of the other laws of physics. So
in those other universes, they don't have we don't know that they have the same laws of physics in other universes.
Right, but I can't say that there's a me that's this, there's a me that's this, and there's a me that could walk through the wall. Like that wouldn't be the same.
Ooh,
thing.
That would be an awesome one, actually.
That's like the movie The One with Jet Li.
And like what was it? Heroes. You'd be like August A. What's his name? August A.
I didn't like that show.
Oh, I
love Heroes.
It didn't catch me in the first
two seasons.
Yes, you're exactly right, Dutch.
First two seasons were the best TV ever.
I was like, this is kind of jumping the shark.
I didn't catch it till like season 5, and I was like,
well, there was only 4, but
later in the show, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
Please don't let the boys take that turn because
I hope not, because
my wife just finished it and she's like
now.
And my wife like hated the first 3 episodes. She's like, it's too dark. But then the other day I was watching it and like they had that girl moment where they beat up Stormfront and she's out there going, yes, kill that bitch.
we all want to see her ass get rocked.
Everybody want to take a whack of Weezer.
All right, so let's close this out. Let's play this real quick. There's two quick clips. They both talk about COVID, but as it relates to the economy. So, and stuff Toss talked about earlier.
Justify not taking legal action to get the briefings that you say are critical, that you say you need.
It would take. All right, so I started that in the middle, but what this reporter said is to Joe Biden, why are you? And this is a big. I was talking about this yesterday with somebody. Why aren't you fucking suing these assholes for the fucking information that we're going to need for the transition? Sue these pricks in the Trump administration. And here's his reply.
That's dangerous.
A lot of time. It would take time. It's not going to speed it up considerably, in my view. And in the meantime, I am hopeful that I'm going to be able to get cooperation from our Republican colleagues in the Senate and the House, as well as the governors, to build a consensus as to how we proceed when we do.
But why not use every tool in your toolbox to get the information that you say you need to do your job and to do it effectively on day one?
I'm making a judgment based on many years of experience in how to get things done with the opposition.
Do you think you would win?
My judgment is that we'll get further along by actually working with our Republican colleagues now. And because the time in which we would win would not materially change necessarily. But it's still an open question. It's an open question. It could change.
So you haven't ruled it out. You haven't ruled out legal.
Okay. So you heard him pause?
Yeah.
He's thinking to himself, wait a minute, am I about to say I'm going to talk to the Republicans?
I think that he's falling into the Democrat trap of trying to reach across the aisle.
They do it all the time.
And I think that
on
one hand, he's right. It would further muddy the waters and take time. But on the other hand, I am of the mindset, and this is my thing. I'm of the mindset that if 45 had been like, you know what, I lost, let's turn over everything we have for the transition team. Let's make a smooth transition, I would have been more willing to be like, you know what, we're not going to investigate you, et cetera, et cetera. But now with this, I am willing to play the long game and be like, you know what, we're not going to fuck with them right now. We know that we're going to win to sue them and all this other stuff that just throws more fucking logs on the fire that they're already trying to start.
You have a pandemic going on that you need.
I know that. But I'm just of the mindset of once I take the reins, all bets are off. I am definitely pine coning your ass. I'm gonna fucking investigate you. I'm gonna prosecute you to the end of the earth. I want his family dead. I want his house burned to the ground. I want
sitting president.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
again,
just saying.
We're promoting terrorism. This is the name of the show, promoting terrorism.
I'm just saying that I would go Al Capone on that motherfucker. Listen,
Mickey Antifa, you think he's getting? You know he's going weak here, right? He's a typical establishment Democrat.
I definitely understand. I smell where you're cooking there.
So this is what, if I may borrow a phrase, Mango Mussolini has done to us.
Yes.
We've forgotten how adults politic.
Mm-hmm.
It is not like Trump is crybabying over there, and he wants to jam up the courts with all his bullshit, right? So if the first thing that Biden does,
they're still trying to push justices through this week.
Yeah, exactly.
They did like 8 in 5 hours.
So now the first thing that Biden does is he picks up the reins and he starts suing everybody too. He doesn't need to sue him. No. He needs to leave. The Pentagon and the Secret Service are ready to remove him when that time comes.
Yeah, but that's January. We're talking about
he's not going to last. He's going to be, him and his people will be up out of there before January. It will be officially concrete. Like, when your lease is up.
Mm-hmm.
And when you need to start collecting boxes from work. He's in the box collecting phase.
Now I do understand this. I do understand
rather than later.
Trump is ripping all the copper out of the wall, pulling the goddamn the cupboards off, and punching holes in the wall. He is trying to fuck.
He's defacing Obama's photograph.
He didn't even hang Obama's photograph, remember?
That's off in some other room.
Oh, he is trying to.
I think I remember that.
He is trying to fuck up the apartment that he is being evicted from. You know what I mean?
Why do I feel like this guy is a Trumper?
Hey, guess what? And if we are,
Rudy,
2 hands. We're using 2 hands instead of 2 fingers, Rudy. Now,
Rudy, I'm sorry
to stereotype, but this guy looks like he's probably a big Trump supporter.
Hey, we take all kinds here.
We'll take your opinion is welcome here. We're not.
We're not masturbating because this room. My
no, that's after.
My little square is not dark, so you know that it's not out.
God.
How about that, Rudy?
The masturbations, the circle jerk starts at the post game show.
And next time, spell masturbating correctly. Okay, Rudy.
Yeah. All right. So real quick, let's finish off this. So now Joe Biden is going to talk about something else that I'm not particularly.
Get him. We got to start.
You have said that you would support a nationwide shutdown if scientists recommended it.
No,
you've spoken to scientists now.
Everybody asks that question every single time I stand here. It was a hypothetical question. The answer was I would follow the science. I am not going to shut down the economy, period. I'm going to shut down the virus. That's what I'm going to shut down.
So that's
I'll say it again. No national shutdown. No national shutdown. Because every region, every area, every community can be different. And so there's no circumstance which I can see would require a total national shutdown. I think that would be counterproductive. But there are constraints in which the degree to which businesses can be open. For example, it's one thing to say that you can have in a state that is there where their infection rate is not as high, you can have a gymnasium open. It's another thing to say it can only be open 4 hours a day with X number of people. The church I go to, my Catholic church, they don't allow more than 40% of the people to come into the church. Those are rational decisions. It's not shutting down everything. It's calibrating based on what the threat is.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
All right. So you're on that particular piece of it. As strongly as I am irritated with the first comment, I'm okay on that one. Though I will say this: I've accused Trump of implementing policy or not doing so with COVID because he's so worried about the economy. I have to point the finger at Biden too. If I'm going to be fair, he's obviously now saying, okay, we're going to have an economic recovery next year, regardless of who won the election, right? The stock market doesn't give a fuck who the president is, nor does the economy really. And any idiot who thinks that the economy is dependent on the president is just that.
Yeah, that's an idiotic thing to say.
But we had highs under Obama. We'll have highs under Trump. We're gonna have more highs under Biden and more highs under whoever wins after that.
I will say,
but I do like the fact. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on. I do like the fact that he's talking about mask mandates. I'd be fine with that. He called it patriotic. I don't know if it goes that far, but you can make a case
you're making a sacrifice for the betterment of the nation. So I would call that patriotic as well. But I will say this: no, presidents aren't directly responsible for the fluctuations of the stock market, but presidents do, in their decisions and policy making and in their rhetoric, have some effect on aspects of the stock market in a micro way, like that day or that week with the
what's happening with trading,
because like President Trump saying, "Oh, I'm going to institute a ban on businesses doing business with China." That's going to affect the stock market in the short term. But that's
stupid policy.
Yes,
like that
but
trade war was stupid.
Yeah, of course the trade war was stupid.
The tariffs
anybody who says different, yes, the tariffs were stupid. And people that say differently obviously aren't looking at the statistics and the ramifications.
Even Ben Shapiro said the tariffs were stupid.
Well, you know what? At that point, on that thing, Ben Shapiro's wrong to Trumpers. You know, he's an idiot. But then when he says something that they agree with, he's the smartest man alive. And you know, these Trumpers, I tell you, the levels of cognitive dissonance they go to sometimes.
Are the flags coming down?
The Trump signs
by you guys?
One
by me?
One by one.
I've noticed. I know there was 3 on the street next to me. Now there's 1. But there's still construction. There's still a construction company around the corner who's got one that is massive.
I bet.
It's still hanging over the side of the street.
I'm just wondering, can we call the police on? Someone has stolen all of those red hats. I don't know where they all went.
Yeah,
they were all over the place for the last month and a half. I can't find one.
You know what's funny is
they'll be back in 2024.
During the Obama administration, there was a millworks company that had like a little sidewalk sign, one of those little stand-up ones that you can light up. And they would rip on Obama the whole 8 years that it was there. Like they would put up little messages about Obama sucks and he's destroying business and stuff. But it wasn't until 2 years into Trump that they went out of business. I thought that was.
But it was Obama's fault. You know, everything started under it. Yeah.
Of course it was.
Yeah,
of course it was. But
always,
there were.
And Obama was not the greatest president, but like let's
was
call
pretty
spade
good,
a spade. Night and day compared to this guy.
Yes, but here's the thing: is that around me, there were a lot of Trump stuff, and there's still one holdout on this street, Caton Farm. On the way, if you're headed from 30 on Caton Farm on the way towards Weber. There's one holdout, and of course, it's par for the course to me because in the driveway there's 2 big lifted trucks and stuff like that. So I figured that they would.
And in the bedroom, 2 small penises.
They're as Stan Lee would say, they're true believers.
Yes.
Can I drop one more beautiful little
you can close
nugget?
You can
drop
close
that knowledge dart.
Close the show out.
No, I did that last. I did that last.
No, do it again. Fuck it.
No. I was just I did some research on Dutch's claim about this 10th planet, and there is a planetoid-like thing out there the size of Massachusetts. It's called the Goblin. It is 65 AUs out, just for scale, just for scale,
All
right?
What's an AU?
Is it big enough? Is it big enough to collapse itself into a spear?
Yes.
This is
Let me,
student number one. I'm not sure what an AU is. Could you please elaborate?
An AU actually is one astronomical unit, and that is the average distance from the Earth to the Sun. And that's kind of like our solar system measuring stick.
All right.
I can't do that. I can't do that for much longer.
An AU is. You said how many AUs was it?
It is 65 AUs away from the sun.
65 AUs away from the sun. So it's 65 Earth measurements approximately.
You know, like when you get a first down, you know, when you're playing football out in the park,
10 yards. 10 yards.
You do like 1, 2, 3. So it's 65 Earth to the suns away. And it's the size of Massachusetts.
Okay.
Just for scale.
That's like a pebble.
It's very, very small. Just for scale.
So I have a question for you. Follow-up question.
Yes.
What is the approximate size of Pluto?
I believe Pluto.
About the size of the moon.
No, the moon is one of the largest satellites in the.
Oh, the moon. I'm sorry. The moon's the size of Mercury. I apologize. Pluto's smaller than the moon.
Okay. So is Pluto bigger than Massachusetts?
Pluto's size is. Oh, there we go. Pluto is 29. See, this is what I'm saying. Pluto is 29.7 AUs from the sun.
Okay.
This thing is more than double that.
And they want to call that a planet, but not Pluto.
It just can't be. Even if it is a round thing, that's one of the classifications to become a planet is to be round by self-gravity. You have to be big enough to crush yourself into a sphere. It doesn't have its own orbit. It's crossing everybody's line. It's kind of off the plane with the rest of it's not going to be a planet.
So it's a drunk driver.
It's just a rock. It's just a rock.
But Pluto should be a planet.
Pluto is a dwarf planet, and the only reason that Pluto got demoted to dwarf planet was because some asshole found a bunch of rocks out in the Kuiper Belt, which is just past Pluto, and he wanted to have like 145 planets added to the solar system with his name on it. And they're like, all right, we got to re-look at the rules now because this dude's trying to take over.
A scientific narcissist, basically.
He was trying to Christopher Columbus the whole fucking outer solar system, and they're like, no.
What I was talking about. What I was talking about was in 2017, there was a report. Scientists have found a warping in the Kuiper Belt that suggests. So it wasn't in the Oort cloud; it was in the Kuiper Belt, which is further in.
Which is closer, much closer.
That suggests there might be a 10th planet. How mysterious Planet 9 is possibly tilting our solar system. And again, this was on an episode of How the Universe Works in 2017. And again, it was a theory, but it was based on mathematics and physics that they found in the gravitational effects of Kuiper Belt objects that had to be caused by something. Now, it could have been caused by a rogue planet passing through, something like that. They don't know if it was there forever, but something caused those gravitational effects.
Look, man, you gotta sell episodes, man. You gotta give people the little tease. I bet that was the last episode of the series.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you gotta have a little tease. You gotta make because it is kind of like all physics and that stuff can be boring. But
they were out there like Case. Is that what you're saying? Touch me, tease me.
So I think I found a good picture to show how far away this thing is.
That's not Farouk, right?
No, they call it the Goblin. It's got like a long
Farouk makes my falafel down at the.
I am Farouk.
I thought you were talking about Farouk from
Nation of Domination.
Domination.
Yeah, the Acolytes.
Farouk.
I'll tell you what, Farouk and Bradshaw was one of my favorite tag teams.
Pause.
Right, let me see. Can I? Is this
tag team back again?
Okay, here we go.
Okay,
this is definitely not to scale. So the Earth is 1 astronomical unit from here to here. Mars is like 1.5, almost 2.5, and then Jupiter is 5 out, and Saturn is like 10 out. If you get like a very good telescope, Jupiter is a tiny speck. You can't even see Uranus or Neptune without like going somewhere with a actual astronomy instrument.
No, you can see Uranus if you put a mirror in the toilet.
That's
See,
right.
I knew it. I knew it.
If
I
you
knew
squat
it.
over a mirror, you can see Uranus.
Yeah.
You're so gross.
Very clearly, in fact.
Yes, very clearly, up close and personal.
I think you can see all of the
backup name for that is the starfish.
All of the crevices and everything. It's beautiful craterous
and
area.
If you're not judicious with your cleaning, you can see some meteorites and
asteroids.
You can see an asteroid belt.
Asteroids and hemorrhoids
Usually
are the
you see
same.
you see that in your shorts.
Yeah. One has asteroids, the other has hemorrhoids.
And a small little fun fact I can leave everybody on because I do love space so much. You can take all of the planets and line them up like side by side, and it wouldn't fill the gap between the Earth and the Moon.
Wow.
Now,
wow.
Millions of years ago, the moon.
Your pineal gland, dude.
Have you? What are your? Well, the moon used to be closer to the Earth. What are your thoughts on the Theia? The Theia theory.
Yeah,
Theia.
They say it right.
Yeah.
Theia was a TV show, dude.
No. Oh yeah, it was with the. You're right on BT, but I'm talking about Theia, the one the collision between a Mars-sized planet and Earth that is theorized to have created the moon.
Yeah, because the moon's like the more and more research they do about what the moon is actually made of, it's just made of crust of Earth. So you got to find a way to, well, how the hell did the crust of Earth get up there? And the only way to get that up there is if something tore off and sheared off the crust of Earth.
Clearly, it was Galactus.
I'm with that. I have no evidence against that.
Yeah.
Galactus.
Yeah.
Can we call it Galactus instead of the moon?
When is he coming back?
Aren't they doing a new series of movies?
Galactus is almost definitely going to be the next Thanos size cosmic villain. Almost 100%. Because of course they're bringing in the Fantastic Four. They're already talking about casting. So
is the Silver Surfer coming with him?
Yeah, but I
love the Silver Surfer, dude.
And Lawrence Fishburne was a great voice for him too.
I'm really upset I waited so long to start because all the X-Men movies are now on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I skipped all of those. So I just saw the one where there's like young Xavier. Like
Days of Future Past?
Yeah. No, First Class.
I saw that like 3 days ago.
First Class and then Days of Future Past was after that.
So I'm working my, I think that was the one I fell asleep on with the because that's Apocalypse in that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't finish that one, but no.
Days of Future Past was the Sentinels with Trask with Tyrion.
Peter Dingle.
Yeah, Peter
Dinklage.
My Peter Tingle.
Tyrion, man.
Yeah,
If you say Tyrion, you know who it is.
Half man.
I drink and I know things.
And I smoke cigars.
If I had the soundboard up today. By the way, I have to repopulate that because my kid deleted the app. So.
Oh shit.
There wasn't enough room on there for him to play his Marvel game. So
so he said, "Fuck that."
Yeah, he said, "Fuck this podcast shit." So he deleted it. I reinstalled it, but I have to. I still have all the clips. I have to repopulate. I just discovered that like an hour and a half ago. Before we started. Well, we've been on podcasting for 2.5 hours.
You just got to roll with it. You just got to roll with it. Just start hitting the Marvel buttons, and then we'll just see what happens. Just like I don't know. Is it like that puzzle one? Because I like that one.
You know what? That's actually a really there's a really cool app. It's really fucking hard too. There's an app I downloaded, a game I downloaded. It's called Wooduku, like Sudoku, the math game.
I found it.
But it's called Wooduku, and it's I'm a big fan of it. I'll pull it up on my phone here and show you guys. But it's sort of like Tetris combined with Sudoku. But it's very, very, very challenging. But it's I've had some fun with that. This is the app right here.
Yeah.
Wooduku.
Okay.
So what's the premise, dude? You got to do a math problem and then type it in?
Check it out. There it is. That's the Goblin, the one that they were talking about.
Willem Dafoe?
Yes, the Green Goblin is out here.
Why did they send him that far away?
Have you seen his face?
Oh God.
So here's
that meme of him where he goes.
Yes.
So
isn't
weird.
that creepy as shit?
That one and the Jack Nicholson one are where the camera comes in. Yeah. Those two.
One, yes. So Mars, asteroid belt, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. There's Pluto, and then Pluto is just a big Kuiper belt object. The Kuiper belt is like 35 AUs out.
Mm-hmm.
This is 65. It's way out there. Way out there. So
it's way out there like Ja Rule's future.
Shit.
Ja Rule is done.
So done.
Yep.
Oh, who'd you have? Gucci or
You know something? I got pissed off when they were so late, so I just turned the shit off.
Who won the game tonight, by the way?
I don't know. I didn't watch it all. I was otherwise I
Can I have a request? Can we have on Cole Sports to talk about the NBA draft?
We need to.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Are we getting basketball soon?
Whatever the Bulls did this year has to be better that Garpax is not doing it. And I saw they drafted the guy they drafted in the first round looked pretty good.
He averaged 9 points a game though. So I hope that was just a product of the system and they see more and there is more in him.
Well, 9 points a game in college, you never know. You never know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that there must be something else out there.
No, but these are the same fucking numbskulls who looked over Michael Porter Jr. because his back was hurt and he was going to have to sit for a year. Like they were going to do anything that season.
Garpax, this is why I don't follow the NBA anymore. Because Garpax destroyed it for me.
You hate LeBron James?
No, it's not. What I hate is the super teams. The super teams and the colluding with people to say we're going to play it. Not really colluding, but, and they have the right to do it. But still, it makes the game less fun. I miss the days when a free agent was a rarity. Make America great again. Make the NBA great again. But it's destroyed the college game, I think. A lot of the young players coming out.
As it should, because they're not paying those motherfuckers and they're taking billions of dollars off their back.
I mean, they're paying them, but they're not paying them.
Well, I'm for that, but also let's not forget that a lot of college players, there's a lot of benefits to their college. Like let's say, for example, JJ Redick. If JJ Redick had not played in the NBA, he'd be working at a fucking law firm or some shit right now because
you mean at college?
No, I'm saying if JJ Redick had not gone to the NBA, if he had not been good enough, he'd still be very successful just because he was JJ Redick. You know what I mean? So there's some ancillary benefit to a lot of these guys, but like Tim Couch, I'm sure he's not living in a shack.
Horrible. You
know what I mean? Ty Detmer, I'm sure is not living in a shack these days, but a lot of the lower level guys. Yeah. But I definitely think college athletes, I'm kind of torn on whether or not they should be paid. There is a good argument for there's an argument for
pay
both,
that money,
but I lean on the side of pay them. But I still don't want to see the college game destroyed. March Madness used to be a blast, and then it just became a shit show. And actually, I'll tell you what ruined it more was the corruption with like Kentucky and UConn and all these same schools getting all the good players every single fucking year, and then Louisville gets fined and Calipari's a crook.
They're paying him under the table.
Yeah, and then Reggie Bush loses his Heisman because of it.
So just pay everybody, and it's fine.
Pay everybody get money.
Well, do you pay the 56th man on the roster the same as the best player?
Of course not. He's the 56th man. He know what's up. He know his value.
But you can't take his scholarship away because he got a job at Burger King.
That part is stupid.
That's he should. Hey, guess what? If the top,
because you're not a professional unless you're getting paid to play football.
That's why they're amateurs.
You're not getting paid to play football because you work at Burger King. You're getting paid to flip burgers.
See, and that's the thing. Is like this is what I'm saying. If you're the number one person on the squad, you get an X amount of money. If you know that you are sitting the bench and waving a towel the whole fucking year, you get Z amount of money.
Okay, but then what happens if the quarterback is struggling and then the next guy takes his job? Do you switch their salary
the next year? If that's what happens,
I don't. You know what?
There's too many issues.
Now that I'm thinking about it, why can't they all get $1,500 a month? The school is making billions. Pay them all. If you make the team, then you get paid.
Pay that man his money.
If you don't want him on the team, then don't have him on the team.
What about the track team, the golf team?
That's a different
the swimming team, the girls.
Maybe they get $700 a month.
Maybe maybe you know more physically demanding sports like badminton.
Or the money makers.
Yeah, or badminton and football should probably not be on the same tier. But yeah, they should get something for that. They should get something. They shouldn't get nothing and then punished if they need something and then they try to earn something and then they get caught trying to earn something.
Does a national champion badminton player make more than a football team that finishes 0-13?
What's bringing in more money? Are the badminton games filled and is only a quarter of people in the football stadium? That's how you decide what's the money maker.
And honestly, like
I just see there being a lot of issues with figuring out how to put equity into it.
Well, it has to be fair. Equity is an illusion, and we're never going to get equity in anything.
Yeah, equity and fairness are two different things.
Yeah, it should at least be fair. If the football team is bringing in X millions of dollars, you can pay those kids 20, 30 grand to send back home, to spend on Xbox, whatever they want to do with it. It's their money. They've earned it. They've helped the school raise this money. They should get some portion of that. Something. You can't give them nothing.
Then I hate to keep throwing monkey wrenches in this, but I've had this discussion a lot of times. And I go way down a rabbit hole here. Do the players at Alabama, do they make more than the players at Southern at Howard? Because now
the players at Alabama, do the players at Howard have a contract with ABC Sports? No.
Yeah, but then what happens is Howard never gets a chance to become Alabama.
If Howard gets good, they do.
How? They're not making as much. They're playing.
You know how they get
Why
good?
would you go there when you could go to a school where you're gonna? Why would you go to a school where you make $1,500 a month when you can make $4,000 a month at Kentucky?
I'm gonna tell you right now what's happening. Deion Sanders goes to freaking Jackson State, and guess what? Blue chip athletes are saying, "Guess where I'm going?" That's how they get good. And then guess what?
That doesn't happen now. Why would it happen then?
So let's flip this back 30 seconds. Remember, you already talking about super teams and how you didn't want that to be a thing?
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah, but why would someone play in fucking Minnesota when the Lakers are calling and all my boys are there and I can get more money? And you're talking about well, I need the league to be fair. Man, fuck that league. I'm going to go get some bread and go play with my homie. So if they want to pay for it, they should be able to go where the money is.
But I'm saying that's a bad thing in college and in pro. There's it's pretty consistent. I'm against it in both. I would say that if you're going to do it, then you have to pay every single college athlete, regardless of sport, the exact same dollar amount per month.
That is fairness. That is equity. Not. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
At a bare minimum, all college athletes should, from their school, get paid $10,000. Just as a stipend.
You establish a minimum wage.
Even if you're a walk-on?
You establish a minimum wage. If you make the team, you make the team.
It's got to start somewhere, and I know that this is not something that they're going to fix in one fell swoop and get it right the first time.
Nope.
But incrementally, if we're going to do incrementally, start by giving them something, give them $10,000 and allow them to work, allow them to get endorsements, allow them to have their own shoe,
allow them to make money off their signature, allow them to make money off their image.
Yeah, like them NCAA video games.
Some people are going to make more off their jersey than other people. But you what the market will bear, you earn.
So I don't know about that. I'm not saying no, but what I will say is that when they do use their likenesses for their jerseys and stuff like that,
video games and shit like that,
for both of those, the school should be cutting those players a check at graduation or when they leave the school.
And that's
at the worst.
That's why you haven't.
But here's the thing: I don't
seen.
need that money when I'm graduating. I need that money when our stomach
hungry.
is rumbling at 2 a.m.
Well, but you might need that money when you're graduating if you're not going
So
pro.
here's this. How about this then? If you're gonna do that, then you
not
say,
every
hey,
college star is an NBA and is a pro star.
What I'm saying though, I don't care if I'm gonna be a pro star when I'm hungry now.
I want some
food.
food.
I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, in 3.5 years I'm gonna be rich. Your stomach is like, bitch, you hungry now?
Well, yeah, but the
you need a suit now.
Look, the football and basketball
teams,
now.
You can't live on
football and
basketball
teams they have food provided for them. The badminton
guess
team
what?
does not.
Guess what?
And Trump
Football
buys them
team
hamburgers. Remember?
I played football in college. Guess what? You don't get food 24/7.
That place closes.
That
after
place
dinner.
closes. And your
After
ass
dinner,
hungry.
you got to wait till breakfast.
I'm sitting there eating fucking orange crackers with peanut butter in there. My grandmama said.
How about first though? Look, I agree that something needs to change, but how about first though we worry about making sure college doesn't cost $60,000 a year.
Well, that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
You know, and then once we fix that problem, then we can worry about what's left over, because obviously the economics of that are going to change. And I think it's far more important that people aren't saddled with, you know, I went to university for 2 years, right?
Yep.
Only 2 years, because my first 2 years were at community college and I paid, you know, for that because it was less expensive.
Right.
2 years, $51,000.
Mm-hmm.
I got accepted
$58,000. Now, part of that was for books and stuff, but
still, it's still money you got to pay.
I got accepted.
That's too much money.
I got accepted into a fantastic music program, and then they said, "Yeah, 28 grand a year, and you haven't eaten yet.
Peace.
None of your books yet.
Peace.
And it's going to be at least 4 years, and then you're going to have to intern for 2 years after that." And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm going to go back to work and make sure my family's taken care of. Wish I could get this degree from y'all." And I just, it turned me right away.
That's a systemic issue with our country. They don't have that issue in other countries.
I know. That's where I'm trying to get
right
to.
up there. Education is right up there with healthcare. And frankly, neither party, and I'm looking at you Democrats, do anything about it. People talk about charter schools. That's what I want to talk about with Bobby Lopez. Actually, when Bobby Lopez comes back on, he actually, for a guy who literally believes that the election is stolen, his views on healthcare and education align with ours. So it goes to show you that, you know, sometimes
where's Cox? We
people
got
have different
Cox
things.
again. I want to see.
So, well, you know what I want to do? I want to get, because we got to get out of here. But you know what I want to do is I want to have like Dornick, Cox, like
I'll be sick that day.
Will Chambers. Remember Will?
I like Will.
Yeah, like, and just have a. They probably wouldn't even be here, but but I'd love to get like a panel of just like 7 or 8 people. To, you know, Delvin Cox, you know, would be great to have in that. Gordy, you know, just I'd love to do something.
I got a couple poli-scis that would enjoy that conversation.
Yeah, that would be. But Steve Cox is great. Will Chambers is great. You know,
Steve,
Bobby Lopez.
God damn it, that's what his name was. Steve.
Bobby Lopez is, yeah. Steve Cox, Bobby Lopez, Will Chambers. You know,
I want to see Cox versus Dornick.
Pause.
Live on VFU.
That would. I could probably put that together.
Do it.
That would be
execute order 66.
Yeah, that I look, all due respect, Steve Cox got something for your ass. Right? Like Steve Cox, now he's got some views that are, believe it or not, I follow him on Twitter. Steve Cox
he is hilarious.
He's hilarious, but he also has some very right-wing views too. Some of his views are very right-wing. You know, so but that guy knows his shit, man.
Steve Cox is the motherfucking man. I can't wait for this. Dutch, set it up. Oh, yeah, maybe we do that for New Year's.
Yeah, and let's and we'll get our network. Maybe we'll get our network mates at Bicurian, because I loved Isla, by the way. Yeah, Isla was a great guest. So We'll have to do that. By the way, they haven't invited any of us on the show yet, so I'm gonna have to send her a very.
I've been on their show several times.
On Bicurian?
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, Maddie got.
You saw that.
Well, I would have been upset. But the reason I was gonna be upset is because I didn't know, so I couldn't promote it and I couldn't listen.
Oh,
but
good save.
I'm sure Isla, it's just an oversight. Been so busy with COVID. I'm going to tag you to this. I'm going to tag you to this timestamp at 2:37:10.
Yeah.
By the way, we're at
Isla.
2:37:10. Haas.
Yes.
You motherfucker. Yes. Quickly, you motherfuck. Take us home.
I love you, Haas. You're not a motherfucker to me.
Yeah.
A valued co-host.
Let's talk about cognitive dissonance.
Okay, here we go. It's going to be 2 hours.
All I'm saying is this. Oh, you know what? It's not cognitive dissonance. It's projection. Let's talk about projection. Everything you said that Obama would do, you know, as far as being a tyrant, being a dictator, just wiping his ass with the Constitution.
Banana Republic.
You know what?
They have great sweaters.
Is our current administration doing? And you are gleefully following along with it. It's okay. It's okay. Right? You talk about stealing elections.
Steal.
You're talking about
steal.
Fraud. You're talking about all this corruption around the election. Meanwhile,
back at the ranch,
you got the president calling election officials to the White House to squeeze them. There's no other fucking reason why he's calling those people to the White House in those swing states that are quote unquote in question ahead of this certification. He's calling them people there to squeeze them, to put pressure on them, to do something that is wrong, and you know it, but it's okay. You're not saying shit. But you want to say that the Democrats and they're stealing an election and they're being corrupt and they're doing this and they're doing that. Their lawsuits are getting laughed out of court because of no evidence, but yet and still, you guys are still promoting and sharing and liking and promulgating these baseless fucking conspiracy theories. And you call people that aren't conservative sheep. Let's talk about projection, y'all. Peace.
All right, you sons of bitches. And
bitches
just to put a bow on that, thinking for yourself, Republicans love to say, I think for myself, especially when a black person becomes a Republican, I think for myself. Really, tell me where you disagree with your party.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they probably disagree and say that they're not going far enough.
Yeah, Bobby Lopez, I'll give him credit. He thinks for himself on some things. Steve Cox thinks for himself. Thinking for yourself does not mean following your party. It means saying, this is what I believe. If this party supports it, great. Then I'll support that party on that legislation.
Right. On that legislation.
Doesn't mean I'm going to follow you on all of them.
Right.
So
one last word.
Yeah, please.
If you guys love independent media, such as the Voice from the Underground podcast, sorry. Then please consider
Voices of the Undergrounds.
Voice from the Underpants.
Yeah.
What did Flav say? I forgot already.
The Underground Podcast.
Yeah, the Underground.
He fucked it up bad.
Oh, love Flav. But if you guys like independent media, if you like people who say what they're actually thinking, they're not going to give you some contrived message. We don't have to listen to CNN, Fox, MSNBC. We can say whatever the fuck we want. And we can do that because we have the backing of all of our patrons. So thank you guys so much for supporting us and keeping the show going. And more to come, as they say.
Pause.
Peace out, motherfuckers.
2 fingers. Well, 4.
That's a double